What is up, everybody? Welcome back once again to Hot Toys Hotline Live. I see we have a lot of people in the chat already. Guys, it's a really exciting day, a very expensive day. Like, holy crap, the amount of stuff. And as I'm talking, promptly, right at 7 o'clock, he made it in, our boy Chris, Collecting Madness. So yes, guys, we have a great panel today and a lot of great people in the chat. I can't wait to see what's up to everybody. 19 already in the chat. Thank you so much for being here, guys. But we're going to get this started by saying what's up to the panel, and then we'll say what's up to everybody in the chat, and we'll get right into it. Of course, as always, we have Ryan from Mr. Mom Collectibles. Ryan, it's great to have you here, as always. I know you're really excited. I know you and I spent some money today, so I'm excited.
My wallet's hurting, so yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people in the chat, I'm sure. Next, guys, we have Owen in the DTOF here today with us. Great to have you here, Owen. I know you're excited to talk about this stuff as well. A lot of great stuff today. Really, truly, a little bit of everything for everybody, I think. So awesome to have you here, dude. Also, we have Chris promptly arriving at 7 o'clock. We got Chris from Collecting Madness. Chris, I have a bit of an expectation from you today for an intro because of that Darth Vader, man. Can we get some belt hype? Oh, he's grabbing more than one. He's gonna grab two for us.
Oh,
Come
it's
on, guys.
double champ. Oh,
we got to bring him up. The
Bro,
two-time.
Tell me about it. We had to bring not one, but two. And first of all, shout out to the chat. Thank you for everybody being here. Number 2, smash the like button. And number 3, woo! I hope you got your seatbelts, ladies and gents, because it's about to be bumpy.
There you go. See, I mean, and guys, it's funny. I called Chris today this morning. I was like, hey, did you check the Hot Toys page? And he hadn't seen it yet, so you can only imagine how excited he was when I first called him. But can't wait to talk about that stuff. Moving on, though, how to follow up that great intro, I don't know. But Sean, the Hot Toys Nightmare. Sean, it's great to have you as always. I know you're really excited to talk about this stuff, being that you're a big Star Wars fan. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. But great to have you here, Sean, as always.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Short and sweet. And then finally, last but certainly not least.
Guys.
Just let me say hi. Just let me say hi to Cigars, Sean. Dang it.
Cigars, can he say hi to you?
Yes, let me say hi to Cigars. We got cigarillos and bacon bits today. He's evolved. This is his close to final form, but not quite final form. Cigars, great to have you here as always, dude. And of course, I'm excited to hear your thoughts, especially on the Star Wars stuff, because you're another big Star Wars fan like I am. So really excited to hear what you have to say about this stuff. And it's great to have you as always.
Pleasure to be here with a great panel. And a great
we appreciate it.
community.
Ooh, we appreciate it. We appreciate it, dude. But let's say what's up to some people in the chat, guys, and then we're going to get right into it. Of course, we're not going to start with the Star Wars stuff. We got to ease our way in. There's a lot of great stuff to talk about, so don't you worry. Hang in there. We're going to talk about Star Wars, but we're going to get into the other stuff first. But let me say what's up to some people in the chat. Unfortunately, our boy Insane One cannot be here tonight, but he says he'll have to catch the rewind. And of course, he couldn't leave without dropping his famous quote. This looks like the smartest chat around, so I know you will leave a like and subscribe to the Hot Toys Hotline in this killer panel if you haven't already. My tapeworm thanks you all. So yes, guys, of course, if you are new here, consider subscribing to the channel and everybody else on the panel and drop a like on this video. I'd very much appreciate it. We got my boy Some Guy in the chat, one of our great moderators here as always. He says the collecting community is going bonkers. Do you want to know why? Well, there is only one way to find out, by joining us on the #1 YouTube channel tonight, live with the one and only Hot Toys Hotline. Well, thank you so much for that, Some Guy. I very much appreciate that. Yeah, he's not just Some Guy, he's the guy. We have to have you change your name to The Guy. I agree with that. Let's see. Some Guy also says we have an amazing host with the best panel in the community. Totally agree, and the best chat in the community as well. Join us, get your popcorn, get your drink, sit back and enjoy the show. Let's freaking go. Yes, very excited, guys. Some really exciting stuff tonight. I got my boy Sluggin16 here in the chat. He says, good afternoon, fellow collectors. Big hype stream coming your way. Well, it's great to have you here as always, Sluggin. I know you're especially excited about that, Ken, so I'm very excited to hear your thoughts as we're going through that. But great to have you here. My boy Payden23 is in the chat. Payden23 says, hello, everyone. Hello to you, Payden. I hope you're doing well. Great to have you here as always. Of course, Eddie Rodriguez is in the chat. He says, on my way home. Can't wait to settle in and enjoy the show. and he's telling everybody to drop a like on the stream. We appreciate that, Eddie. Or as my boy Some Guy is calling you, Big Ed. I'm like, how's he going to call him Big Ed? You know, if you guys don't know who Big Ed is, I mean, that's a little bit of disrespect there. Some guy calling my boy Eddie Big Ed. But I know you didn't mean anything by it. I'm just joking around. And then we got Owen's biggest fan here saying, can't wait for some more John Wick Fortnite. No John Wick Fortnite tonight. Unfortunately, there's no John Wick stuff tonight. We're still waiting on that. Control-Alt-Delete is here. He says, greetings, Exalted One. Perfect timing when we're talking about Return of the Jedi today. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Control-Alt-Delete and nobody and a viewer on this wonderful stream. Well, I don't consider you a nobody. Don't sell yourself short. It's great to have you here as always, and I'm sure you have a lot of valuable input to share with the chat. So it's great to have you, and good morning to you as well. Another person, my boy 8-Bit here, just absolutely dying today with the rest of us spending all this money. I was talking to him earlier, and he's like, man, just my wallet's getting crushed. But yeah, guys, there's a lot of stuff that came out today, a lot of pre-orders that went up. So I feel your pain, 8-Bit. And yes, there's absolutely too much heat, and we're going to cover it all today, but there's a lot of it for sure. OG fan, another one of our fantastic moderators in the chat. OG says, hello, everyone. Hello to you, OG. I hope you're doing well. We got Thalia Meyer, says, hello, everyone. Hello to you, Thalia. I hope you're doing well. Diablo Fett, a face that I haven't seen in a bit. He says, good evening, friends. Good evening to you, Diablo. I hope you're doing well. It's great to see you. And I know you're excited to talk some Star Wars stuff, that's for sure. Let's see who else we got in the chat. I'm sorry, guys, I'm scrolling through. There's one of my friends messing with me saying that she's my biggest fan. Come on now. I know you really are my biggest fan. No Nerve says, am I late? I think, Owen, is this another one of your friends here? You got a lot of supporters in the chat, man. No,
sure is.
You're right on time, No Nerve. You're right on time. Just in time to mess with your friend, Owen. Polo Ralph Loren is in the chat. Polo says, what's up, everyone? Polo, I hope you're doing well. It's great to see you as always. Awesome to have you here. Ian, Chris, unfortunately, Ian's going to challenge you on those belts, man. He wants them both. He knows you're the unified champion. He wants both of those belts, so watch out for that. Watch out for that.
Top dog, tribal chief over here. Get your own.
One of our most controversial usernames, but a funny one. We got Balls Deep in 6 scale. Balls Deep says, the best mother-freaking show of the week. We appreciate that, bro. It's great to have you here as always. Awesome to see you. I hope you're doing well. Yes, we are going hard on a Thursday, dude. It is one of those days. Like I said, everything just kind of dropped at one time. So we got Jared Hughes in the chat. Jared says, so excited to add Redemption Vader to my collection. Dude, yeah, and I almost can't contain my excitement to talk about it. It's hard for me, trust me, to hold towards the middle of the stream, but we're going to do that. We got to build up to it, you know. But I'm very excited to talk about it.
Hey,
yes.
Connor, real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Do you realize after referencing Balls Deep, you just said we're going to go hard into it?
Well, it's just, Sean, it's just how it's
you
laid
brought
out
it
in
up,
the
dude.
chat.
You said it. I had to say it.
I'm
Sorry.
just the message deliverer.
Yeah, I'm
let's
sure.
see.
It's just
Then he mentioned
convenient,
something about
right?
he didn't want. Then he mentioned he didn't want to go too early.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Get your heads out of the gutter.
Hims has a pill for that. Just saying.
Get your head out of the gutter. Matt is here, another
Don't
one of our
open it
great
up for
moderators. I was standing next to the gutter. I'm leaving it at that. I was standing next to the gutter. You guys opened it up. Matt says, hello, collecting community. Matt, it's great to have you here. As always, once again, one of our great moderators. Awesome to have you here, dude. Let's see. Fat Batman is in the chat. Fat Batman, I hope you're doing well, bro. Great to see you. We got another John Wick fan here. I'm guessing that's another friend of Owen's. Kaiju Daddy, by the way, guys, I want to congratulate Kaiju Daddy. He just hit 2,000 subscribers. So, Kaiju, great to have you here as always, bro. And congratulations, big congratulations on 2,000. We have Trevor, the 1/6 shooter, another great friend of mine. Awesome channel. You guys got to check out Trevor, 1/6 shooter. Yes, Trevor, quite a day. And I know you're a fan of the original trilogy, so I'm sure you're really excited. I didn't get a chance to catch the stream you were on earlier because I was a little busy. So very curious to hear your thoughts on this stuff when we start talking about it. Eclectic Collector is here in the house. What's up? Exciting day. Absolutely a very exciting day indeed. Great to have you here as always. Loco Lou in the chat saying, what's poppin', people? What's up, Loco Lou? I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Anybody else new, guys? I'm going to skip over some of the comments. We're going to get right into it, and then I'll say what's up to everybody if anyone else comes through. I think I got everybody. Oh, we actually have a couple. Moving Creatures says, hey, everyone. Hey, Moving Creatures, I hope you're doing well. And Moving Creatures, you're always dropping a ton of love to me on Instagram, so I very much appreciate you. So shout out to you for that. Wayne Timothy says, what's up, everybody? Hope you all are doing well. Hope you're doing well as well, Wayne. Good to see you, as always. Thank you so much for being here. Eddie's over here laughing at the jokes, probably from Sean, or maybe even the Big Ed comment. Maybe he's a little offended by the Big Ed comment. We got HG in the house. He says, just getting ready to cook some wings and enjoy the show. Well, hey, I like wings. I hope you got some for the class, HG. I hope you're sharing those wings around because I love wings. Let's see. Boba Fettuccine says, what's up, cool people? What's up, Boba? I hope you're doing well, bro. Great to see you as always. Barrett in the chat. Barrett says, yo, just got home and ready to talk these 40th releases. Yes, very soon. Hopefully we'll be able to talk those very soon. But guys, I think I got everybody. If I missed you, don't worry. I will go through and say what's up. A 12-inch Moose Stream. Oh, 12-inch Moose Stream is in the chat.
Hey, Moose Stream.
12-inch Moose Stream. How could I skip you? One of our regulars here. 12-inch Moose Stream. It's great to have you here as always, bro. Great to see you. Always great to talk with you off stream as well. Always sharing your awesome collection with me. So it's great to have you here as always, Moose Stream. Awesome to see you. And we also have Thick Bantha Boy. Again, guys, sorry if I missed some of you. There's a lot of comments coming through. But truly, thank you all for being here. It's great to have you here as always. Bantha Boy says, so much heat. This stream is too hot to handle. Clap, clap. That's true, man. There's a lot of handsome gentlemen here on the camera, especially this guy, Chris, below us, man. I mean, he graced us with his presence right as the stream started. So, and then he's doing his famous face there. But, guys, we're going to get right into it. And once again, we're going to get to the Star Wars stuff, and everybody wants to talk about Vader and C-3PO. Don't you worry. But we're going to start off. We can't miss talking about some really important stuff. I did briefly make a video on it earlier this week, but I didn't get the chance to talk about it with the panel, so we're definitely going to address that here. Right as I'm starting, my friend Jay dropping the super sticker. Thank you so much for the $5 super sticker, Jay. Everybody, we still haven't worked out. I still have to upload all these different funny little videos we have of everybody on the panel for our stickers. So don't you worry. I got some stuff coming. We got some stuff brewing. I have an idea for Chris to film one. I haven't talked about him yet, but I'm going to have him film something for me for the donation. So don't you worry. And we have Collector Joey in the chat. Collector Joey, I hope you're doing well. Great to see you, dude. All right, guys, well, we're going to get right into it. Of course, again, we're going to talk about Star Wars stuff. Don't you worry. But first, of course, we got to talk about these updates to these figures this week, guys. Now, of course, we're going to take a look at the individual photos, but I want to start by saying this. This is obviously very important for us as collectors. Hearing from a company as big as Hot Toys, who has notoriously, admittedly, not been very good with communication over the years, to see them not only give us a big update on this Tom Holland sculpt for the red and blue suit, or the final swing suit, as many call it, but then they finally revealed the full reveal of the Natalie Portman Mighty Thor sculpt and this Shuri sculpt. This one is very exciting to me. I got to be honest with you. I think for me, the Shuri sculpt is probably the winner out of these three. And that's not taking anything away from these other ones. This Shuri sculpt is just absolutely incredible. It's like totally spot on. And I was talking about this with Chris and Ryan, and I'm like, dude, like it literally looks like the actress. It's pretty incredible how well they were able to capture her likeness at all angles. And of course, we're going to take a look at some in-hand photos because our boy JC Hong always dropping those amazing in-hand photos. But we're going to start by talking about the Tom Holland sculpt. Now, admittedly, guys, when I first saw this sculpt, I really didn't have any issues with it. And it's almost one of those situations where I very much enjoyed that first look that we got at that sculpt. But then after seeing the updates they made, I'm like, okay, this is better. I could see where they made this better. With that original sculpt, you guys have all seen it. He had like those wrinkles in his foreheads. There was a bit more texture to his face. He looked a little bit too old, I guess. I could say that now after looking at this one. But looking at this now, I mean, I think this is an absolute home run. I would venture to say this is easily the best Tom Holland sculpt we've seen thus far. And to be fair, there's been many great Tom Holland sculpts. I just think this is probably the best of the bunch that we've seen thus far. Now, of course, I want to have a bit of an open discussion on this. So if anyone would like to share their thoughts on the sculpt, for me, I think this is a strong 9 out of 10, guys. I really do. Of course, there's room for improvement on most of these sculpts, but I think all of these, I mean, especially this one, this is a strong 9 out of 10. So if anyone want to share their thoughts, and guys in the chat as well, please share your thoughts. I'd love to read your comments and hear your thoughts on these sculpts because this is a big opportunity for communication moving forward from Hot Toys, right? So anyone, if you would like to chime in, what are your thoughts on this Tom Holland sculpt? What are your thoughts on these updates?
I'll go.
Go ahead, Chris. Yeah, what are your thoughts on the sculpt?
pretty much my first initial thoughts before they updated it was that I actually didn't think it was all that hyped up to be. Like, a lot of people were hyped for it. I saw him there, but like now that there is this update, 100% more satisfied with seeing this. Like you said, I agree with you about the Shiri. Out of the three, I think she's the best looking one. But like, when I look at this guy, I can literally hear him talking. That's how scary good it is. It's insane.
It's very impressive, and I don't know if you agree with me, Chris, but initially when we reacted to that red and blue suit, the first photos of it, I was like, this sculpt's pretty solid, man. I personally had no issues with it, but Hot Toys kind of changed my mind with these refinements. I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is definitely better, and I can't believe that I'm looking at this and seeing that sculpt was improved, because I thought it was so good to begin with. So I don't know if you share those same thoughts, Chris, but for me, I definitely see where they made these improvements, and even in the cheeks as well, right, Chris? Like, I feel like they smoothed the cheeks out a little bit, just to make him look a bit younger, right? Because I think maybe
he did look a little old. Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
I think this one is better. It looks more like Tom Holland, but for me, I still kind of prefer. I like the idea of the old one just because it looked different to like the other Tom Holland sculpts.
Not as
this
smooth,
one,
yeah.
This one kind of comes in line, like it's better than the other ones, but it looks closer to those. I think if you had them all in a line, they all look kind of similar.
That's true. I mean, and I kind of touched on that briefly, Owen, but I think we could all agree most of the Tom Holland sculpts have been pretty solid.
Yeah, they have.
None of them have been terrible, in my opinion. I know a lot of have to complain about them doing the sculpted mask on that one sculpt, but that's not really anything to do with the likeness. It's more so a decision on Hot Toys' part, you know. But I agree. I mean, I understand what you're saying. Like, certainly the breakup in the sculpts, maybe that original one made more sense for people who have a lot of Spider-Man figures and they wanted something a little different. But I do think this is definitely an improvement over that.
It looks more like Tom Holland. The likeness is improved.
Like, it's scary good. And we got a lot of people. So Barrett says this is a 10 out of 10. He doesn't know if this could get any better. And that's very fair. I think it's pretty fantastic. 8-Bit Flea's giving it a 9.5. And guys, you really can't take these scores lightly, because you don't often see like the community as a whole really giving sculpts like such a fantastic score. So that should tell you something. Like, Hot Toys really knocked these sculpts out of the park. But I do want to say, Kaiju Daddy also makes a great point, guys. We have to remember at the end of the day, these are prototypes. So, of course, we could see some degradation with these with the final product. So we could just hope and pray that these head sculpts are very close to these prototypes, because if they are, we're going to be very happy as collectors.
I was just going to say that, and worst comes to worst, it goes back to what it was before the update, and it's still good.
He gets a little older, right?
I mean, even if they knock 20% off the paint applications from right there, I still think it would be like a really good sculpt.
I think so too. I totally agree. Ryan, I know you had to jump out. Did you have any thoughts on this sculpt in terms of the improvements? Do you think this is improved over the original for your personal taste?
Yeah, I think it's 100% improved, actually. I think that it's one of those figures where if we didn't have the improvement, I still would have said the old one is good, and I day one pre-ordered it, so it goes to show you my thoughts about it. But no, I think they did a lot of subtle improvements. The biggest thing that's noticeable to me is definitely like the forehead with like less wrinkles. It's almost like he got a couple shots of Botox. They kind of smoothed them out. I definitely think he was going obviously for an older look with the hair kind of pushed back. It did make him look older, like in general, and like in the movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I think that the old sculpt just went a little. They added a couple extra too many years onto him, where they made it a little bit too older for my taste. So I think they definitely smoothed him out. His skin looks definitely more softer, which makes him look younger. I also think, and I said this before, I almost feel like the neck is actually skinnier. Like his actual neck, his cheek area is actually a little bit more slender than what it was on the original. I think it looked a little too puffy. I think it's a fantastic improvement. Like I said, they just did minor tweaks. I would have accepted the old sculpt. I still think the old one looked great, but it's until you see something better, then it's like, all right, it was done better. So I'm all on board for it. Really great. And the other thing about it is that I don't know if it was touched on, but I just love the communication from Hot Toys.
Yeah, we briefly talked about that, but yeah, I'm curious to hear.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm okay. Like them doing this kind of announcement of updates is like almost as equal to a figure release for me, or an announcement, because it's like, oh, awesome! Like they're actually communicating with the community and actually giving us updates about what's going on. Like I know that and I made the comments. I know Doc Ock is supposed to get a new update. I kind of hope we get an announcement about that. Like show us a before and after of that one, because I'm sure people are holding out because they kind of don't like the way the sculpt looks. So there's definitely people that probably aren't buying it or on the fence about it. So, you know, show us some updates on these things and kind of let us know where you guys are standing with this stuff. So I'm all on board with it. I love it.
Yeah, well said. And guys, real quick, we have breaking news from Kaiju. Apparently, this just in, Lane Kramer has just announced he will be buying everyone a Hot Toys DX Jabba. So maybe, guys, that the funds for the swoop bikes got reallocated for Jabba. So, I mean, I know Santa Kramer didn't deliver to us, guys, but unfortunately, we have to wait a little bit longer. But it sounds like we're getting Jabba. So thank you so much, Kaiju, for giving us that breaking news about Lane. And it's great, right? Lane's not here to defend himself tonight. So if he's not here to defend himself, that means we have to hold him to it, right? So I guess we're all getting Jabbas, man. But and Ryan, I think that's very well said. And again, I think the reaction to the people in the chat and our reaction here about these sculpts really says all you need to know about the level of communication and also the improvements that were done on this. And Cigars or Sean, I don't know if you guys had any additional thoughts on this sculpt. Cigars, I know this was one you were interested in personally, right? This final swing suit.
Yep, this is the only one out of the three that I wanted. So this is the only head sculpt that I was actually invested in. But I mean, regardless if they didn't update it, I was still going to get the figure anyways. So I just think that they knocked it out of the park with the updated head sculpt. I don't know why, but I like the hair. Like, the hair looks
man,
so good on this figure.
Yeah, like there's a close-up shot. I agree. I mean, and that often gets overlooked, right? But that's a very important detail on a head sculpt. And you see some of these cheaper third-party figures and such where the sculpts aren't quite as good. And even some cheaper figures from officially licensed companies. But you could really see that in some of the cheaper or less well-known companies where there's not that quite amount of separation in the hair. But when you look at this dude, like it looks like real hair. It's pretty impressive, their technology when it comes to sculpting the rooted hair. It looks pretty amazing. I totally agree.
You reckon this hair is going to get ashy like the old ones did?
So I don't know. I have seen that issue, and I know it's removable. I don't know. And I always wondered, Owen, if that's like maybe some sort of finish that they were putting on the hair that was causing that. Maybe some sort of clear coat or finishing spray that they put on it. I'm very curious. I'm very curious to know what caused that. But I know it was reversible. Not acceptable, but it was reversible.
It came off with a drop of water and a makeup brush for me. It was easy.
Yeah, and I did see that.
I did think though, you know, like how we thought the old sculpt had like too many wrinkles, right? You know how the sculpts always get softer? I thought maybe they were just sort of including the fact that the sculpts get slightly softer into their design for initial prototypes. Because I thought the same with the Mark 6, the new one. Because like everyone's problem with him is he's like really wrinkly.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to believe that, but I'm not going to give him that much credit. And also, we could see Sean's face says it all. He said we should start talking about Star Wars now.
He's bored already.
He's about to start. He's about to start a revolt in the chat.
No, I'm not.
Hashtag let's talk Star Wars.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on Spider-Man, Sean? Since we're boring you to death with Marvel.
I didn't say I'm bored. Anyways, no, I think they did a good job with this Spider-Man. I like the display piece and everything. I mean, I'm not going to get it for me, but I may offhand go buy that display piece and put like a Batman on it.
Yeah,
I think that would look awesome. Or possibly if we ever got
92 Batman.
You know, they could reuse this and put the Batman or the Catwoman on that.
You get Batman Returns on that. That would look good.
When Mars Toys dropped Mr. Freeze, you could put him on that.
Oh, yeah.
That idea is trademarked by B&B Inc.
Oilers Workshop already.
Yeah, just like how you tried to take Budget Stark's idea too, right?
No.
All right. First of all, guys,
he might not be on here to defend himself, but
we gotta pause everything because we got Big Dog Pound in the chat. Big Dog Pound. Let's get a big woo for Big Dog Pound. Big Dog Pound. Yes, sir. That's when you know it's good. When the mic starts peaking, that's when you know you got a good one. But yes, Big Dog Pound. Great to have you here as always, bro. Driving up the hype in the chat. A lot of woos in the chat. We love to see it. We love to see it.
Too? Come on. You want to woo?
Come on.
My dogs just heard me and they're like little like coming up to me like
cue.
all small and
That's
they're like all
cue.
coming down.
Boba Fettuccine says, you get a Jabba, you get a Jabba, and you get a Jabba. I love it. And Oilers Workshop, once again, contributing to the revolt. Stop it, Oilers. We're going to talk about Darth Vader. Don't you worry. We're moving on to the next. He says, boo.
But Oilers wants to talk about it now.
But Oilers has to wait, just like Sean has to wait, because we got it's like a fine wine. We have to let it age a little bit. We got to let it. Everybody's dropping the woos in the chat. I love it. Everybody, oh look, and then we got our first entry into the Lane Kramer DX Jabba giveaway. But all right, guys, we're gonna move on to the next one, and the next one is gonna be the Mighty Thor, guys. Now, this one I'm very happy about. You guys know I'm a big fan of Natalie Portman. I really, most people are, to be fair, but I've always had a crush on Natalie Portman ever since Attack of the Clones came out. That's where my crush really started with Natalie Portman. But I thought she was great. I know a lot of people have mixed opinions about this film, but I loved her in the role of Mighty Thor, a.k.a. Jane Foster. And I think this head sculpt is absolutely fantastic. Looking through the different angles, I think they really capture all angles. Is this one a 10 out of 10 for me? Excuse me. No, it's not a 10 out of 10. However, I do think they did a fantastic job. I think the likeness is great. I do really like the sculpted hair. I can confirm after looking at some photos that the sculpted hair is that kind of thin, more flimsy sculpted hair. Excuse me. So it's more posable than it typically is. So that's great to see. It's not another Qui-Gon Jinn situation. But I think she looks great. I really do. I think they did a great job on her. If we zoom in a little bit closer, I think this is a great likeness. I guess we'll go down the line on this one. Ryan, what are your thoughts on the Mighty Thor Natalie Portman head sculpt?
Yeah, there's another one. Looks good. The hair looks like the Wonder Woman 84 hair. That is very posable. I mean, you can't like pose it and it stays in place, but there's a lot of give to it compared to Qui-Gon, where the hair dictates how the sculpt unfortunately is, because it's so stiff. No, the figure looks great. I mean, the sculpt looks great. Looking at these, a lot of people were giving their reactions early on when these were the photos up, and I think a lot of people I read a lot of negativity about this sculpt, like, oh, it doesn't look like her, it looks like this person or that person. Right. But then when JC Hong put his photos up on Instagram in nice natural soft lighting and just the sculpt, I mean, they looked perfect. Like, it looked perfect compared to, like, I mean, these photos do it justice, but when JC Hong put his photos up on Instagram like a few hours later, I think it just really, really, really captured the sculpt like so much better. I mean, I have no complaints about it. Yeah, I'm on the wait list for it because I think one of them is out of stock right now. I will admit, seeing the sculpt kind of made me like, I kind of wish I would have got this one sooner, but it wasn't in the cards. Because I already have Infinity War Thor, which I think personally is like one of the best Thors that they have. Yeah. And I don't really need another one, but this figure does look cool. But I'm not. If I don't get it, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. But it's a fantastic sculpt. Once again, it like what Owen was saying. There really isn't anything more that you can do to it, because I think it gets to a level where you kind of got to tap out and say this is where it is.
Right, we're happy with it.
Because
right.
Where if you start tweaking stuff, you can make it worse, or you end up.
Yeah.
I think they got it to a very beyond acceptable point. Like, this sculpt to me is like, I don't know, 8, like borderline high 8.5, like 8.8 maybe. It's a very good, strong sculpt. I mean, from certain angles it loses a little bit, but like it's Jane Foster. It's her. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
and I think they did a great job painting in those rosy cheeks, and I hope we see that with the final.
And like how the makeup is actually on her. It looks real.
Exactly.
It achieved what it was meant to.
I agree. I totally agree. I mean, and I'm really excited. I do have this one on pre-order, so I'm very excited to check it out. Big Dog Pound. I don't know if you know this. This is one of my favorite memes from Rogue One. Our boy Director Krennic. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it, dude. I wish that YouTube had a way to drop memes in the chat. That would just elevate the chat. That'd be so cool. Okay, guys. It might be a little messy, but it would be fun. Orlo's Workshop says, I haven't taken my pills today, so be warned. And he also says that Natalia Port person. This looks amazing. I agree, dude. I think this is fantastic. And I think Ryan kind of hit the nail on the head. For me, I would put this at about a 9. It's not perfect, but it's certainly very close to it. I think they did a fantastic job. Of course, before, guys, all we really got to see was that lower chin portion and kind of part of the face with that cracked helmet. But we did not get to see the sculpt in full. So seeing it in full, I think it looks fantastic. I'm very excited. And with this one, I'm glad that we have the sculpted hair. You guys know I'm not a big fan of rooted hair, and I saw some people saying this should have had rooted hair. I think the sculpted hair looks good, personally. From my personal opinion, sculpted hair is the way to go on this one. And obviously with the track record with the Hot Toys with rooted hair, stick to what you know, and that's sculpted hair. So I'm very excited about this one. But moving on, Owen, do you have any thoughts to add about this Mighty Thor Natalie Portman sculpt?
I think it's probably the weakest out of the three, but like not by a lot. I still think it being the worst out of the three is still like a really good thing to be. I think it looks pretty good. But I'd probably say I prefer the Padme likeness to that one. I think they're gonna probably be pretty close when we get them in hand. Like compare them, I reckon they're probably pretty similar.
And Owen, since you brought up Padme, real quick, we have a question from the collector. He says, "Does Padme get updated? Do you think they're going to make any updates to that sculpt? Do you think they're happy with how it is?"
I don't think they're going to update Padme.
It's hard to say because I think the sculpt's pretty good, right? I think they're probably pretty happy with that Padme sculpt.
They didn't have much hate on like the Facebook groups and stuff. I don't think they're going to see a reason to change it.
That's true. I mean, a lot of times it really takes a lot of people kind of dumping on the sculpt to get them to be like, all right, maybe we should make some changes.
Tony Stank.
Yeah, exactly. Like a situation like that. 8-Bit Flea gives us an 8.5. He says the movie was terrible, so I skipped the fig. That's fair. That's fair. Cigars, did you have any additional thoughts on this Natalie Portman, Jane Foster sculpt? Guess Cigars is not here. We'll move on to Sean. Sean, did you have any thoughts on this beautiful Natalie Portman, Jane Foster sculpt?
Yeah, I do. So she's, it's very unique. I like how the eyes are aligned to where it's just how we do those looks out of the side of her eye, or out of the side looking at Thor. It's kind of like where this picture is right now is that's what makes me think about it.
Yeah, that's true.
I am concerned though with how, so is the helmet, is that like its own separate head sculpt?
Let's go back to that.
Or does that like
there.
break in half and like cover the face?
I imagine it does go over the face. That's what it appears like.
I thought it looked like a separate head because the lips look different on each. They look like a different.
They don't make
color.
it very obvious, but yeah, actually, when you look at the helmet, it looks like there's no way for it to go over the hair here, and also like it seems like the hair is a bit different in the back. Yeah.
No, the hair is different.
It's got to be a separate piece. Yeah, it's got to be a separate piece.
All right, then that's good because that would be my biggest concern.
Yeah, this one's been out for a minute. I couldn't remember.
I couldn't remember either. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, overall, it's good. I mean, I think if they even just did it just with the helmet itself, everybody would still have been happy with it. So getting the full face sculpt,
right, that's just a bonus.
Like this is just like the complete bonus.
I agree. And real quick, Big Dog Pound, we're gonna pull up the JC Hong photos after we look at the Hot Toys provided photos, just because it's a good way to reference. Like, okay, we saw what they look like in the prototype photos, and then we get to see what they look like kind of in hand. So don't worry, we're gonna take a look at that. But go ahead, Sean. Sorry.
That's okay. But after seeing this, I do think they're gonna go through and update Padme. She is off a little bit, so I think now they can go through and do it and just update her face sculpt a little bit with the Padme, because this is significantly closer to Natalie Portman.
But then it's a younger Natalie Portman, so I don't know how many changes they can take from one to the other.
Right, but no, she's if you look at her though, like if you go and watch like clips, like or just go watch Attack of the Clones or just watch clips of Natalie Portman from Attack of the Clones, you can see like how the face is off a little bit on the Padme.
Yeah.
Compared to what she actually looks like. Compared to like it's off compared to what she actually looks like in the film. You mean?
Correct. So I think they can after doing this, which this is a lot closer to the Natalie Portman from Thor: Love and Thunder. I think they're this will prove that they can update Padme. And if they don't, that's fine. I won't cancel my order for Padme, but this kind of gives me a little bit of hope.
You better not.
That they can improve her head sculpt.
Could you pull up
now
a
that I've seen
comparison?
that I looked at those clips and everything.
What?
Could you pull up a comparison for Padme?
Yeah. Let me see.
He's not prepared for that.
Sorry,
no, I'm not prepared for that. But real quick, guys, we got a $2 super chat from Collector Joey. Thank you so much. That's very generous of you, Collector Joey. Guys, if you haven't already, check out Collector Joey on YouTube. He's got a great channel over there. He's been doing it for, I think, about as long as I have. So definitely check out Collector Joey. Thank you so much, dude. I very much appreciate the super chat. But let me pull up. You're putting me on the spot here.
Sorry, man.
But I'm not going to turn down the opportunity to take a look at Padme. So
I like picture 20 on Sideshow if you're on Sideshow.
Wow, he's getting real specific.
Wow, that's
I might have to charge you.
Possessive,
Right.
like
I might have to charge you for this one. Picture 20, dude. Let's see. There's a 16.
It's the two. Yeah, that's the
There
one.
we go. Yeah, I mean, I think it looks. I very much do think this sculpt looks great. Is it a perfect 10 out of 10? Not quite, but I do think it looks pretty fantastic. I'm gonna be honest with you. If this is what we get, I'll be perfectly happy. And again, this is another one of those sculpts. When we saw the in-hand photos, from JC Hong, it did look much better in my opinion. So, yeah, that's my thought on it. I think it looks great. I see what Sean's saying. At some angles, some people can say it's a bit off, but for me, I'm pretty happy with this one.
Who was the
Well,
one that
she
said
has more
the
of the,
nose
like,
was big?
You said what?
Who was
said
the
her
person in chat that said the nose was big? I want to see if they thought the same with this sculpt.
I don't know.
think like her sculpted like with Padme though.
Oh, right here, thick
Her
band.
her jawline needs to be corrected with Padme.
Oh, what's off about it?
Man, Owen's challenging
Okay.
today, Sean. I mean, I think it looks good.
Hey, it was Star Wars. We're talking about Star Wars. That's what
No,
everyone wanted, right?
Okay. You know, if you look at her like from the movie, how it's always like
What?
underneath is straight cut and everything.
Sure.
You know, she has basically like the perfect jawline for a girl, and that's not being depicted here.
I mean, if I had the JC Hong photos to pull up, I do think it's better in the photos, like the overall lighting and everything, the sculpt. I don't personally have an issue with the jawline on this one. If anything, my minor gripe was the nose. I do think the nose is a little big, but I still think it's a good sculpt.
I'm not saying
Hey,
it's
actually-
not a good sculpt. I'm just saying though that you know there's room for them to improve, and with how they did the Mighty Thor, it just proves that they can make that correction to Padme.
They may update it. So, but go ahead, Chris. I know you wanted to say something.
I was just gonna say, so for both of them, for me, they're not like 100%. There's like angles to both of them where you definitely see her, and then a different angle where you don't. So she may just have a likeness that's super hard to grasp. And what's bugging me about the Love and Thunder isn't the nose at all. It's actually her forehead. I feel like where her hairline is compared to where this one is more accurate to Natalie Portman.
Yeah. And Boba Fettuccine
But-
says he's in the minority on this one. He doesn't think it's all that great. I don't see Natalie Portman. And guys, I take that back about Collector Joey about going to his channel because he says I feel like Mighty Thor looks more like 11 from Straight. So guys, retract that. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, Collector Joey apparently he sees Millie Bobby Brown when he looks at.
I don't.
I don't see that, but hey, everybody's got their own opinion. I don't see that personally, but that's funny. I haven't heard that one yet. But sorry, go ahead, Chris. I just wanted to read a couple comments.
No, when
there.
we were talking about her, it was all over the internet. That's what everybody kept saying. Now I can maybe see it from like nose down, but going up like, not really. And then also another thing you got to keep in mind
Be right
is
back, guys.
when
problem.
comparing these two, she's older in Love and Thunder compared to how young she was.
Yeah.
in the
Right, that's what
prequels.
Owen was saying. Yeah. Yeah. So
I mean, I just looked at pics from the movie. I think this. I actually think this is really, really good.
I do
the
too.
sculpt.
I think it's pretty good too.
I changed my mind. I think it's
I
pretty
like
much
the
perfect.
right one better than that angle.
Yeah.
Like the angle of the right one versus.
Yeah, I
the
prefer
left
that. I prefer the Padme out of the two.
I'm just I'm pressing X here, and it's just all right.
I mean,
so,
it still looks like Natalie Portman, just
Mhm.
older, and yeah, I prefer the
Different.
technical. Yeah.
But let's be real, guys. Let's look at the real perfection here. Holy crap! Like, and I think most people have agreed on this. Even though I know some people weren't a fan of Shuri being Black Panther. Me personally, I actually enjoyed her in the role. I enjoyed the movie. So I'm going to be getting this figure. I like how the suit looks, and this head sculpt is just another box to tick to say, yeah, you're getting this. And I've seen a lot of people say, like, oh, man, like, I wasn't going to get this figure, but I might consider it now because the sculpt's so good. I mean, dude, like, and I kind of want to have an open discussion on this one, guys, but holy crap. I mean, if perfection was a sculpt, this is as close as you're going to get, in my opinion. I think this is fantastic. I think they nailed every little bit of this head sculpt, even down to the hairline, the braids in her hair. I just think it looks fantastic. Collector Joey's having a blast with the comment. I said, I'm just joking with you, know that. Euler says, everyone knows for heads get wider as we age. Apparently, dude, apparently.
Yeah, but the sculpt is spot on. I mean, it's gonna be. It would look so good in display with this, without the helmet on, next to
Ooh.
Chasm Bow and the new Black Panther with no
Oh,
sculpt,
yeah.
like, with just sculpt, having them both kind of side by side, like kind of standing there, very hero-esque, I guess you want to call it. It's one of those. If you get this figure, it's really tough. Hot Toys puts you in a really good situation, in a tough situation, because it's like do you display? Because I'm 50-50 on putting sculpts, like displaying with a sculpt on. Usually I like if there's like a helmet like Mando, I like it with the helmet on versus a sculpt. And that's nothing against the sculpt, it's just you prefer. But this one's like, that sculpt is too good to keep in the box.
You can't put that in the box, yeah.
My
Yeah,
lord,
it
bro.
literally like stares into your soul. That's
It's
how
creepy.
good it
And you know
like
what
she has-
captures her essence beautifully.
Yeah.
You're right.
No. I was just gonna say, like I think Connor and I have this discussion all the time where it doesn't happen to all figures, happens to some. Like I said, these are prototypes, but then when they move into a mass production phase and you have multiple sculptors making these things to mass produce them, there's always a chance that, like I said, there's an X amount of percentage lost on the sculpt compared to the prototype. Doesn't happen all the time, but like Owen, you were touching on it before about like the Spider-Man, like it might soften up. This thing is so perfect that like I just hope that they deliver on this as the final product. Like it is so perfect.
It really is, and
It's probably, I would argue, like Yondu I still think is up there, and because he's like an alien, he's blue. I feel like that kind of helps them get away. It is probably arguably top 3 best sculpts that they've done from an actual character that's not an alien, like a human. It's probably it's
I wouldn't
easily
disagree with that.
It's easily 5, if not maybe like 4 or 3.
It's up there, dude. And like I said, it's scary how good it is. And it, like Chris says, you kind of look at the sculpt and it kind of, you're like staring into her soul. It's like, and I can only imagine, I believe the actress's name, Letitia Wright, I think her name is. If she has seen this already, I'm sure she absolutely lost her mind. If she hasn't, someone's got to send it to her, dude. Because
She probably hates it because it looks it looks real.
It really is like a case by case. I've seen some actors and actresses be like totally flattered by seeing head sculpts, and others saying it like, "Oh, that's totally creepy. I don't want to look at that." Like
Scarlett Johansson
Scarlett
hates
Johansson said that, right? She thought it was a little creepy, but it really is
keeps
case by
them in her
case.
closet.
it. Yeah.
And 8-Bit Flea's giving this a 9.8. But yeah, I know a lot of people weren't a fan of this movie, but of course we can all. And it's like the same thing with Reva, guys. A lot of people didn't like Reva as a character, but that's another absolutely fantastic head sculpt. And this one is no exception. It's beautiful. Again, I love like everything about it. I love the look in the eyes. I love the expression. I love because there was a lot of emotion from this character because Shuri obviously lost 2 very important members of her family, and I think this captures it very well. So I think they
She
did a
looks
great
kind of
job,
somber.
dude.
I see
She
it.
very much does, yeah. And then the luminous effect on the suit, we know how cool that is. They did it with the movie Black Panther. I mean, this is just a really cool figure, guys, and I really love this head sculpt, and I'm glad to see that a lot of people can rally around and say, hey, this sculpt is pretty cool. Even though I may not be interested in the figure, this is a fantastic job. And we have Boba here, who was kind of indifferent on the Natalie sculpt, but he says Shuri looks incredible, amazingly well done. And yeah, it's kind of like that. How it is sometimes, right? Sometimes you like stuff, sometimes you don't. So it's great to hear that people like this sculpt for sure.
I mean, the first Shuri was like really good as well.
Yeah,
so
I think
for
they
them
did
to
a great job on
come
that
in
one
for
as
this one.
well. Yeah, and if anyone else would like to share any additional thoughts, feel free. I'm actually going to pull up the JC Hong photos really quick because I really want to take a look at those because I think they did a great job. He did a great job photographing these.
That
again,
that photo is creepy because it looks like a real head on a stick.
I know, man, and
I
once
was
again,
telling Connor the same thing.
yeah,
Oh,
5 heads.
yeah, she does.
That
I
is
mean,
an unbelievable photo.
It's
yeah,
ridiculous.
Even the hair, everything. That right there.
that's what
I
I'm
would
saying.
say-
The hair really, really helps this figure. Like,
and the
that-
fading
hopefully
on the
this-
hairline, it's amazing.
I was gonna
dude.
say, hopefully this doesn't sound like controversial, but they do really well with like black sculpts as far as their hair goes.
Yeah, the new Falcon's
Like-
got really sharp hair.
Like Electro, I really liked Electro's.
Yeah, they did a great job on the hairline on
Skin
Jamie
fade and
Foxx's head
everything,
sculpt.
it looks
yeah.
unbelievable.
Mhm.
Like with the fades and stuff, they just do amazing.
Damn, y'all are disrespectful, man.
Dude, that photo there, that sculpt, arguably, that's like a 9.8 out of 10, maybe even a 9.9. Like I don't ever like to say 10 out of 10 because I think that you can. Oh, there's always room for like nothing's perfect, but that's like a 9.9 in that photo. Like that photo there, it's like a 9.9.
But I think if you called it a 10 and then you wait for some soft softening, then
it's
you'll call
rock.
it a 9.8. Like
Yeah,
that's
it's gonna
fine.
drop. Like that Mark 6, man. I hope that thing softens up.
Oh, it has to. It has to. Otherwise,
yeah,
it looks like
needs to be.
60.
I
Just
know.
makes me more hyped to receive this figure, man.
Me too. And it, like we said earlier, like I already have Mighty Thor in pre-order. I still have to pre-order this one, but like this makes me more excited for these figures because I'm like, damn, if I get anything close to this, like I agree with Ryan. This is like very, very close to perfection in my opinion. In my eyes, of course, everybody has different opinions. Very, very close to perfection in my opinion. And I agree with Bantha Boy. He says the Luminous looks amazing. Wish it lit up with power. Yeah, I agree. Not everyone's going to have a black light in their display. Like, I don't have that for my movie Black Panther as much as I love that. But, of course, we're going to take a look at the other sculpts again. Like, these photos just do these sculpts so much justice, man. Even down to, like, the little bit of sweat on Tom Holland's face. It's beautiful, man. They did such a fantastic job. And again, if it's anywhere close to the prototype, I think we're going to be really happy collectors, that's for sure.
Why is he looking at me like he's going to web me up?
He might be webbing you up.
I don't like that. I don't like that phrasing.
Web me up. And then, of course, we got the Natalie Portman Jane Foster sculpt. Again, I'm looking at it here. I really do like this sculpt. And I mentioned to you guys earlier, you can kind of see the hair is a bit more flimsy. And you can kind of see that here in this photo.
That photo doesn't look like her to me.
I agree.
If you turn it to the angle, like you got to keep going, like till you see like an angle of her. Like there, I see the likeness there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I see it more than straight on.
Right there, she reminds me of the way she looked in Black Swan.
Yeah,
that's what
for sure. I can see that.
Yeah, that's
also,
Black Swan.
Ryan's spot on with the hair on Wonder Woman 84.
That's
like that looks so similar. It looks like they like took the sculpt and just moved it over.
You know what I've also noticed, like, because we always say that these sculpts play tricks on us, or maybe it'll look better in person. Like, I've noticed as soon as Connor or anybody, even me, when you zoom out of it, you can really see the likeness. So maybe one of those things where we do get it in person and we'll be blown away even more.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see it. Well, guys, I don't think we can keep them waiting any longer. We got 12-inch Moose Stream saying Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars. Okay, we'll talk about Star Wars, but we're not going to start with Vader. We're going to start with C-3PO, guys. So we're going to talk about Star Wars again. Come on now. Look, if I'm gonna take demands, we
save the best for last. That's what you did.
Exactly.
It's a 5-course meal. We just had the appetizer. This is now the first course.
But
he's starting with the foreplay.
I kind of would have rather got that Black Panther out of the way.
Warm it up with foreplay.
We had the salad. Now this is the soup.
Hey, you didn't want to get the Black Panther out the way.
Black Panther, we're just going to briefly look at him at the end.
We're going to forget about that.
They told me to drop the Black Panther for now. But, guys, we're going to take a look at C-3PO
Nobody
now.
wants
Really
to talk
quick.
about Robo Kitty.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I just want it out the way.
Really quick, before we move on, guys, I wanted to point something out in the description of C-3PO that's very interesting. This portion here, the 1/6 scale C-3PO collectible figure is made with die-cast metal material and features detailed mechanical design, skillfully blah, blah, blah. But the part here, specially designed figure base and Jabba the Hutt's notorious pet, Salacious Crumb. Of course, guys, we take these name drops sometimes with a grain of salt, but I see Jabba the Hutt TM there, and I'm really liking that TM. Like, I don't know. Is that a sign that we might be getting a Jabba the Hutt? I mean, we got a Salacious Crumb with C-3PO. You never know. I definitely had to bring that up, though, because that was very interesting to me that they name dropped not only Salacious Crumb, which you see here in these photos, but Jabba the Hutt, guys. So I hope that means something. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I do think, guys, if we got a Jabba the Hutt, I think we can all agree that's going to be a power pose figure. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Because a fantastic figure that came out not long ago, King Shark, that's a power pose, and I think that figure is absolutely fantastic. So, guys, do you think this is any indication that we're going to get a Jabba the Hutt? Just kind of spitballing here. I kind of wanted to bring this up and hear what you guys had to...
100%.
I think so, because I was talking about this with Nate this morning on Geeking Out. Like, if they, with them dropping C-3PO, they could have dropped him with, you know, the Ewok throne chair or just him solo. Why did they go out of their way to include Salacious Crumb when that's Jabba's pet? That's not C-3PO's pet. It's Jabba's pet. So to me, it seems like this is just like, oh, you're going to get the figure and you're going to get Salacious Crumb, and then Jabba the Hutt will be a solo figure. So it's almost like, oh, if you want Salacious Crumb, you got to get C-3PO, and then Jabba will come later. Because even in the photos, you scroll when he's got C-3PO laying down, you can see that they made a plastic pillow, and they recreated one of the rugs that goes with Jabba the Hutt when he's sitting on his little platform. Because I have the sideshow version, and it's the same like rugs and pillows that he has, except for the sideshow version, it's not plastic pillow. It's actually, you know, made of cloth and cotton stuffing.
Yeah, so here's the sideshow Salacious Crumb as you're saying that.
Of
course, not the one that comes with cigars, Jabba the Hutt, but
that's not the one. But I mean, that one looks better than the one that actually comes with sideshow Jabba the Hutt 6 scale version. But why would they go out of their way to include, Salacious Crumb with C-3PO? And why would they recreate the scene for the faceplate with his
the
eye
base,
being
yeah.
pulled out? Because that all takes place in Jabba's palace.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
So it makes me think that we are going to get a Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, there's money to be made on that as well.
oh, for sure. And obviously the Sideshow one has run its course now, so a lot
And it's
of people,
worth quite a lot.
Yeah, and a
Oh,
lot
it's
of
gone
people...
up, the Sideshow one's gone up $100. Like when I bought my Sideshow one, it was only $749. And now if you want Sideshow one, it's $849. So that thing literally, after it ran out, the next batch was $100 more.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, they had
And I
a
have a
discount
feeling
like
that,
2 days ago for like 500 something. They had like 30.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have a feeling
it
that
was
Hot
seconds,
Toys is
I
going to
think.
release theirs, and it's going to be like $500-$600.
Yeah, and
And
if they
what's
do
gonna
Power
happen-
Pose, I think that's doable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, because like I was talking to Nate, I could see Hot Toys making theirs cheaper because what I brought up is, yeah, Sideshow has theirs for $849, but it's healthy competition. It's not to say ours is better than yours. It's like when you go to the gas station and one gas station say gas is $2.20, but the gas station literally right across the street is $2.17.
Yeah.
They're going to discount theirs a little bit more because they know it's going to drive people over to them.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree. And we got a lot of funny comments here. TK says, Marvel is gone, Star Wars is what remains. And this is absolutely the droid we are looking for. And apparently Oilers learned the word salacious from Star Wars. I think I did, too. Shout out to George Lucas. Trevor's been waiting for this Return of the Jedi.
Look what Oilers comments said. Congratulations for calling the Emperor's Wrath Vader, by the way. Thank you, Oilers. At least somebody remembered that. Appreciate it, bro. You're the
Connor
man.
did too.
Yeah,
I did too.
We're jumping the gun here, Cigars. We got to talk about C-3PO. I told you, we're
He
holding
put it in the comments.
Vader's in
He just
front of
put
their
it in the
face like a
comments.
steak. But yes, Trevor, I'm very excited. Guys, let's talk about C-3PO. I don't want to get too much into Jabba. Let's talk about C-3PO. We finally got almost our golden god C-3PO. We didn't get the throne we wanted, but I was talking with the boys earlier, and I like the suggestion of, hey, maybe they'll give us that Ewok throne with some Ewoks. So, of course, I'm not positive we're going to get some Ewoks, but if we do, I think that's very plausible. I'm actually not totally upset with the direction they went with this. I got to be honest with you. I think this is a really cool, smart little pack that they did. And the pricing on this one, guys, is actually, like $6 cheaper from Sideshow than the Attack of the Clones one. So, very fair in terms of pricing compared to the other one, considering this includes an extra character. I think that's pretty cool. And this is very clever, in my opinion. I love the ripped out eyeball. This was not really where I was thinking in terms of this one, but I think this is a smart decision on their part. I think this is a really cool kind of accessory piece for the C-3PO. And I think he looks great. I know some people in the Discord were saying they thought there was a few issues with some inaccuracies on his arms. I didn't get that deep into it. I just think he looks pretty fantastic. I think Salacious looks pretty good. I'm looking at my Sideshow one, and I could definitely see a big improvement in terms of the paint work on this Hot Toys version. And I think it looks great. I'm really excited to have these two coming into my collection. I'm sure you guys are curious. I already pre-ordered this one. When it comes to Return of the Jedi, in my utter excitement, I'm going to pre-order all this stuff day one. So I definitely had to drop my pre-order on this one. I think he looks great. He's not quite the perfectly clean C-3PO that we see in A New Hope. So I know those of us that have wanted the clean one, we're still waiting on that. But this is really the next best thing, in my opinion. He still looks fantastic. I do like the bit of weathering on him, I got to be honest with you. And I think it'll be a nice contrast, especially if you have that Attack of the Clones one on pre-order, because that's obviously a much more musty looking C-3PO than this one. But I think it looks great.
It's pretty accurate, though, because if you remember,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
when he's there in Jabba's palace, he gets treated like crap, and he's dirty. Like, Jabba throws the frog at him, throws a drink at him, so, he's covered in a bunch of gunk.
Yeah.
So, even by the time when Luke shows up, C-3PO is dirty. He's not even shiny anymore. He's got, he's weathered. He's got stuff all over him, crud, garbage. So I think they did a good job. The only thing I don't like is the eye. They need to work on the pulled out eye, because like I said earlier this morning on Geek It Out, it looks like a robot dong hanging out of his eye socket.
Just the angle, yeah. I can see what you mean by that.
It's a robo dong.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, honestly, it doesn't bother me, but now you've put that in my head, so thank you, Cigars, for that.
Looks like a doorstop.
Nathan says, I don't know why they would do this C-3PO and Salacious if they aren't doing Jabba. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. And like Cigars was saying, it definitely is pointing in that direction. Like, why would they? And not only that, I like that name drop of Jabba TM trademark in the description. I think that's a good sign for sure. Not a sure sign, but a good sign. We got a Jabba the Hutt chant from 12. Jabba the Hutt, Jabba the Hutt. Yeah, I like that. That's interesting. 4K Media Guy says Slave Leia is coming. Get ready. I don't know about that.
I don't know if
dude.
they'd do it.
I have more faith, and I said this in my Return of the Jedi once video. I have more faith in the Bouche Leia personally. Disney has been kind of staying away from that Hutt Slayer Leia for a while now.
Also,
so.
they can't call it Slave Leia. They can't even call Boba's ship Slave One.
Right, so it's Hutt Slayer.
They call
Leia.
it Hutt Slayer.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Hutt Slayer Leia. Yep. Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know if they would take a chance on that because they know they're kind of staying away from as much controversy as possible. So even if they did do it, excuse me, even if we did get another Slave Leia, I think it would be a third party figure like that other one that we saw, that kind of pack you could get. But trust me, if they did do a Slave Leia, I would certainly pick it up. That's for sure.
They could do a 2-pack with Jabba.
The one where her sideburns look like turds.
Yeah, that one, I don't know where they went wrong on that. It's like they recasted part of one of the Hot Toys head sculpts and they just like stuck those on there. It looks kind of weird.
Yeah, dude, she had turds for sideburns. She looks like she had like literally crap rolling down the side of her face.
Yeah, that's true. Matt says, Connor, whoa, some shipping updates on Sideshow for March figures. Catwoman is now November to January 2024. Thena, June to July. We don't care about her. Sylvie, June to July. I do have an interest in picking up Sylvie, so that's pretty cool. But man,
I'm
Catwoman's
glad that Sylvie got pushed. Gives me time.
Man, yeah, Catwoman's
a
far
reissue.
on the horizon, dude. That's crazy. Hopefully that means those boots aren't going to be pleather.
It's a 2.0, but it's a reissue, really.
I'll give it at least at the bare minimum. It gets a 1.5 because it's got that really cool display base, and it's got. I'm sure those boots aren't going to be pleather again. There's no way they're going to do that again. That was
no, they're completely different. You can tell from physical
no
appearance they're different. It's a 2.0.
Ooh, Chief Chirpa. Dude, every time people talk about Ewoks, I get excited, dude. Like, Low Gray, my boy Tebow, Chief Chirpa. Like, I would love to see some Ewoks, man. I'm not gonna have my heart set on it because there's a lot of other things they could do over Ewoks. But, man, if I could get some more Ewoks to go with the current Ewok Wicket that I have in my collection, I'll take them all, dude. And like I said, if they give us that C-3PO throne with the Ewoks, that would be best case scenario in my opinion. I don't know. Balls deep. I don't know if I was looking at C-3PO's cakes, but yeah, they're pretty flat here. Now that you point that out, they are pretty flat. Funky Cold Santa says he really likes the Salacious Crumb. I do too. I think he looks great. And again, looking at my Sideshow one here, I have the one from that Creature pack from Sideshow years ago. I do think it's a nice improvement over that one, so I'm excited to get another Salacious Crumb because this one's actually with Boba Fett. I've got one of my Boba Fett's with him, all the different creatures with him, so... Yes, and that's another great point. He was also walking in the desert on the way to the palace. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense that he has that weathering on him for sure. Totally agree.
Can't be clean walking in dirt.
Exactly. It wouldn't make a lot of sense, would it? Let's see. Euler says, please, dear God, Jesus, Buddha, whoever, give me Carrie Fisher in a metal bikini. Bro, that's all our childhood crush, man. We're all right there with you. I hope so, man. I would love to see it. I just don't have a lot of faith in it. Prisoner Leia. I mean, they call her Hutt Slayer. I think Hutt Slayer Leia is cool. It's not going to replace Slave Leia for me, but Hutt Slayer Leia is cool. I mean, it's better than the fire spray that they're calling this. I think that's pretty lame. I know that's the model of the ship, but we have a $5 super chat, guys. Let me scroll down a little bit. From my boy Andreas, a $5 super chat. Thank you so much for that. I very much appreciate it. Andreas says, congrats on 1K plus. Keep it up. Keep up the great streams. I can't even read. Sorry, guys. Please call out Mando spoilers. I still haven't seen the last episode. Thanks. Don't you worry. Yes, moderators in the chat, please, if you see any Mando spoilers. I saw someone mention one of the actresses that was in. I don't think that's a huge spoiler, but any spoilers, if you don't mind, moderators, please get those out of the chat because we want to allow people to see the episode and not spoil it for them because it was just yesterday. So
it's been 24 hours.
That's not, bro. To be fair, in the Discord, we have a 6-day rule, so I'm going to stick to that right now. I'm going to give some people a little bit more time to see it.
6 days.
Yeah, 6 days. Yep, 6
So
days.
6 days, the next episode will be out.
Yep, and that's how we do it. That's how we do it.
6 days.
Polo Ralph Lorenz says, Catwoman, no way. Yes, unfortunately. Trevor, how dare you? How dare you do the N1 dirty like that? Hey, I have a lot of faith in the M1.
It's a guaranteed then.
All right. When it comes
I'm
to the
taking
slave Leia, I have about a 10%.
Wait. We can't talk about it for 6 days. Sorry.
Sean, shut up. Shut up. Sorry that I'm being courteous to our fellow Star Wars fans, but Ryan, I want to hear your thoughts on this. And
about the N1, that's in Mando, so yeah.
Yeah, so 6 days. You gotta wait 6 days.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't say 6 days for the stream. I said 6 days in the Discord. But Brian, I want to hear your thoughts on this C-3PO here.
I did order it. I pre-ordered it already, so I do have it. It's a day one for me because I want to get this as soon as possible. I love it. I mean, I love the direction that they're going with I'm just looking at the pictures here. I love the direction that it's going. It's one of those things where I was thinking this morning, it's like you expected it to happen. Like we're gonna get a C-3PO, but like still when I saw it, I'm like, holy crap, C3. It's just so it's like asking for something on Christmas. Yeah, you're pretty sure you're gonna get it, and when you still get it, you're still surprised you got it. I mean, I'm just so happy about it. I'm very excited. I am happy that I did cancel Attack of the Clones 3PO and R2. I canceled them, got my deposits back because C-3PO is one of those characters that I don't need multiples of, and I was not in love with the absolute dirty version of him. It was honestly like, okay, it's available, I'm going to get it, knowing I was still going to get Return of the Jedi. But the only other version of him I would get is if they do a perfect gold. Like a gold-plated version of him, like from End of A New Hope, like a perfect, pristine gold version of, like a real shiny version of him. That would probably be the next one I would get. And after that, I don't need too many 3POs. But I just love it because he looks a little beat up, not too crazy. He looks like how he was in the whole movie. Actually, it's just how he was, like just natural wear.
Yeah, like Cigars said, he was getting thrown around. Like Jabba didn't care about him.
Pristine. Yeah, I think of him the way he looks here. I don't think of him as perfectly pristine with nothing wrong with him. This is how he looks. I love the addition with the eye, being pulled out, and like you said, and they're not hiding R2D2. And it'd be awesome if R2 came with, Jabba's
and that's another one here,
tray,
Ryan,
serving tray. You don't see it there. Yeah, the bus tray, just to add it. I mean, if they're gonna go all in on this Jabba theme, it'd be cool if he had the bus tray, and then I think and this morning when me and you and Nate were on the phone, like at 2:00 in the morning, talking about this, I think we were talking about also like the lightsaber. You do a little magnetic pop in that shows Luke's saber sticking out a little bit. It's just little. If they're going to go with the Jabba theme, which, like I said, all signs are pointing towards. And I think Nate was the one who said maybe Jabba's a DX.
Yeah, because I mean we have no DX releases thus far.
Yeah,
that would
no
make
DXs
sense
right now. So
and
but,
I want to.
Yeah, no,
I like you touched on R2.
Yeah, that's what I brought up to Nate too. Sorry, with the lightsaber thing. If you zoom in on the head, it almost looks like you can see
a little flap right there.
Yeah, and guys, I wanted to point this out since Ryan brought up R2, and of course we're going to talk about it. This is the Return of the Jedi R2. I know a lot of people were asking, is this a stand-in? Is this one of the old? No, this is the Return of the Jedi R2 right here. I'm really hoping, and it would make a lot of sense based on what we saw with C-3PO and what he includes.
No, that's not.
It's not the Return. Nate proved it on Geeking Out because he has the Return one, and he pulled it out, and it doesn't have that much weathering that this one does.
But no other R2 has this amount of weathering, though. So what R2 is this then? Because Hot Toys hasn't done an R2 with this.
This is something new because this isn't.
This is a new R2.
That's what I'm saying. It's a new R2D2. No, I'm not saying this is the sideshow one. No.
My bad.
Okay, I thought No, I thought you meant that you were saying that this was an older R2.
No. Yeah, I have the R2
I thought
Deluxe.
the same thing, dude.
No, sorry, guys. No, I have. I apologize.
Yeah.
No, so the other R2 is actually not. It's just a generic deluxe release that has multiple features from the different films. I'm sorry, guys. No, so yeah, this is a new R2D2. That's why I was saying. That's why I was confused. I'm like, what R2 are you talking about that has this amount of weathering? I was so confused there. But yes, guys, this is a new R2D2. So I know oftentimes they'll use older figures and put them in as stand-ins in the photos. This is not the case here. This is a new R2D2, so you bet your bottom dollar we're getting this too. There's no reason why they wouldn't put this in the photos if they weren't going to sell it, or why they would put this in the photos if they weren't going to sell it. So I'm really excited.
However, I just want to say this, though. So the R2D2 that was with Luke Skywalker, though, was different also.
Yes, but this is a much grander occasion. This is, and of course, again, this doesn't guarantee anything, so there's a good point. but this is also the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, so I very much see them putting this one out. And also, to be fair, the Mando Luke, it wasn't really like a big uptake for them to make that figure. There's not that many differences with the Mando R2, so I see this as being a more sure bet personally than that one, but I'm very curious to see if it comes with that serving tray. I know a lot of us here are hoping to see that serving tray. Obviously, we have the serving tray here in Chris's hand because he has the pathetic, flimsy sideshow R2, as we like to call it. But yeah, so that serving tray there, we're really hoping that comes with Hot Toys. But a lot of people bought that sideshow. And Chris, you're muted, by the way.
I was just gonna say it comes with like the whole bunch of the different cups with like liquid in them, so you can fill the tray up, and then it comes with the dispenser, so it would be cool. That I do have, obviously, you just saw I have the sideshow version of both of these guys. I still pre-ordered C-3PO, so that was a must just because of die cast. Now I did get my base signed if you've seen my channel or anything, so I'd probably stick this new one on there, and then honestly, I'm thinking of like destroying the sideshow one and like putting them next to Chewie, like he was blown up or something.
That'd be cool.
And then as far as R2 goes, like it would have.
Why
to
don't you
be
paint
like,
it?
It would have to be like super, super. I don't know. It would have to come with everything the sideshow one does, because I'm on board with Return of the Jedi, so I would love to see that as well with the drink tray and even more stuff than that. I
agree. And I see a lot of people actually showing some love for the Bouche Leia. So Trevor here says Bouche has got to happen. I saw a couple of Bounty Hunter Bounty Hunter Leia, exactly. That's the Bouche Leia. So that's the one I'm gunning for, guys. I love the Slave Leia. Don't get me wrong, but the Bouche Leia, I just love that look. I love that she has a different voice and everything with the helmet. I've said it before, when I was a kid, it didn't initially click with me when I saw Return of the Jedi for the first time because the voice was different. My stupid little childish brain didn't realize that was Leia at first glance. So I really have some fond memories of kind of finding out, like, oh, that was Princess Leia when she took her helmet off. So it's a really cool design, in my opinion. I think it would be a great figure. And I do think I would put more stake in the Bouche Leia over the Slave Leia, personally. And Trevor seems to have a lot of faith in those Ewoks. And I also see a lot of Ewok love. Nathan's saying he wants some Ewoks as well. Trevor, I hope you're right, dude. I would love to see more Ewoks, especially the named Ewoks, or even if they gave us some like kind of Ewok tribe members that are no names, just so we can kind of fill in the display with them. I would love to make like a little Endor display. I think that'd be really cool.
I see Denobi is in the chat saying that this is the Attack of the Clones R2. I have to disagree because I just looked at the pictures. If you look at R2 right there, he's got a dent.
White.
Look, he's got a dent in his dome piece right there.
Yeah.
The Attack of the Clones one does not have that dent. I just went and looked at the Attack of the Clones pictures. That dent is not on the...
There's also dents on the Attack of the Clones on the arms that are not on this version as well.
Yeah. So
also, this one's more yellow.
It's not the Attack of the Clones R2. This is a new R2.
And it's
this
also
guy's extremely weathered.
It's a different weathering pattern, it looks like, on the dome as well.
Because if you look at the Attack of the Clones R2 and look for that dent right there next to his eye, it's not there on the Attack of the Clones R2. So this proves that this is not the same one. This is a completely different one.
So another thing,
however, we're not guaranteeing that Hot Toys will be issuing this.
No, we're not.
But we're just identifying that it's a new one.
Disclaimer.
That it's right. It could have been just painted for this picture too.
So look here.
Somebody put a dent in something.
Yeah.
But just look at the weathering pattern on this R2. Focus in on that, because now I'm going to switch over to the Attack of the Clones, and you'll see it's also completely different in terms of the weathering as well. Let me pull this up here, because they would have reused the same prototype, right, if they were going to use that. So let me pull this up here. So you saw that weathering pattern. Now look at this. It's much cleaner.
White there.
Much cleaner, yeah.
He's all white. And look, right there next to the eye, there's no dent.
Yeah, I mean, and admittedly, Denobi, it is very hard to pick out because the details on R2 are they do change more subtly than other characters. But I personally do think this is a new R2. It looks completely different to me in regards to the weathering, like Cigars pointed out, the dents and such. I do think this is a new figure. Now, like Sean said, this doesn't guarantee anything. It guarantees absolutely nothing. But it is a really good sign that they're throwing him in the photos with C-3PO, in my opinion. Balls Deep says, DX-R2 coming in hot off the shelf, baby. Go ahead, Chris.
I was just gonna say, so if there was, I guess, a picture or image of the Attack of the Clones version, because this looks like the back of the dome where that den is. Does he have it on the Attack of the Clones version? Because it's not the front near his eye. That's the back of the dome.
Let me check.
Yeah,
That
I'm
would
not
be
sure.
like the ultimate way to. But like, I mean, just the body color alone looks completely different as well.
Yeah, it looks different
You
to
know
me.
what I
It
was
very
just
much does.
thinking of?
What were you just thinking of, Sean?
Sorry,
Making good
I'm
choices.
sorry that I'm like talking over you, like that. I thought I had an opening, and then you started talking, so I'm sorry.
Denobi says the dent is a light illusion.
Doesn't look like a light illusion though, because you can see the dent and the markings. If it was a light illusion, you'd see like a bit of a shine.
Yeah, we're gonna have to pull out the enhancement. I need like my mega enhancer. Unfortunately, Facebook is cutting me off. I mean, I gotta be honest with you. When I'm looking at here, it doesn't look like a light illusion to me, but I wish I could zoom in a little bit closer. I'm definitely not the authority on R2-D2 differences. I won't claim that, but let me see if we can get a different lighting photo. Unfortunately, I don't think he's in that many photos. Let's see.
Well, he was
Okay,
in that other one you shared.
From the sideshow photos where you can see the back of the head, there's no dent.
Okay. Well, I guess
There's no dent there.
Yeah, there's no dent
Yeah,
on
there's
the
no
Attack of
dent.
the Clones R2.
Yeah, this is the mark right here, but I don't know. It's weird because you see how there's like a line here. Maybe it's just the way that the weathering is spaced out on the front. Maybe that's
So,
creating the illusion.
Once
'cause
you
can
stared
see-
at it more, it kind of did look like the light playing a trick to make it look dent, but still.
I think Chris is right with the
here-
color. Just the
Here's
color.
another point. You look at the color, and then the feet of the Attack of the Clone ones is absolutely disgusting. This one isn't, but the color of the body is still different.
Yeah.
Like if you zoom back
Hey, listen,
out,
we're gonna know
Connor,
probably in a couple of weeks when we get new R2 anyway. So
Right.
Next week.
right? The feet aren't as dirty as that Attack of the Clones is, at least to me, from what I just saw.
Yeah. I love this comment from Euler. So if you guys have ever been like a classic like Kenner collector, they do spell out the name on the box on some like R2-D2. They spell it out R2-D2. So that would have been a cool little touch with these like classic Kenner inspired boxes. That would have been cool.
This is all a figment of our imagination.
It's a trap. Yeah, it is a trap. It's a trap. That's what it is. This is all a trap. We're spending too much money on this stuff. But yeah, guys, I think
So,
C-3PO looks great.
What I was thinking though.
What were you thinking, Sean? I like how he just
Sorry
like
to
it's
cut you
like,
off again.
He like smoothly doesn't. Anyways,
no, I
guys,
was. I think there's a delay from when I'm speaking or something.
I'm
But
sure there
anyways,
is.
I was just thinking how annoyed everyone's going to be if on May the 4th they announce that R2-D2, but it's a 2-pack with C-3PO. After everyone just put an NRD down
Yeah, I don't know if they would do that because
on
they
the
haven't.
single C-3PO.
Oh, so Trevor also says the whole blue section of paint is also missing on the R2-D2
Oh.
from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
Interesting. Yeah, interesting. Huh.
I just want to say, do you
That
think
is
that the
true.
do you think the weathering on him looks kind of like the Mando weathering? Do you reckon they're gonna go heavier on the release or?
Who on C-3PO?
Yeah, I thought it looked like similar kind of similar technique.
It is a similar technique. You can see that there, how it's like speckling. But I think
Because is it
looks good.
chrome?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I don't have anything against it. I was just intrigued because the pictures of Mando when he actually released, it was heavier than the initial pictures, right?
Yeah, definitely was. Denobi says, when in the trilogy did R2 receive a dent? The dome has always been round.
That's why I was saying it was kind of hard to.
No, I mean,
That shrug
I believe
emoji has
it
some
more to be
sass.
the light.
It happened during Toontown. It was in Toontown. That's what. It
yeah.
happened.
So
Yep.
yeah, Denobi, you didn't see the Clone Wars. They explained it in the Clone
Yeah,
Wars.
exactly.
See,
watched
that's
It's in the
what-
holiday special.
Right,
Should
that's
have
where
watched
it
Rebels.
was.
It
Yeah,
was explained in Rebels all
that's
the way
true.
to the
It
last.
was,
You gotta get on-
it was
Denobi
in the
gotta get on-
robot chicken.
Nobody has to get on those cartoons and watch those cartoons.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. Now I remember. He did get shot by a
Kenobi should
Stormy in
watch
the
the
bunker.
Battle of Umbara. All the Battle of Umbara
Also,
episodes,
th-
and he'll
there
fall in
is
love with the
one-
Clone Wars. He'll watch all of them.
All right, guys, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on because because you
Say
know.
one more thing. There's one more nitpick that I have.
Go ahead, Chris.
With
Before we move on to the grand event.
What are you thinking?
I was just thinking. I wish he was a little bit more weathered down towards the legs. Because, like, there was a lot of people who think that his leg wasn't always silver, that it was gold, and it was silver in all 3 films. But it's hard to notice in Return of the Jedi because he's so filthy throughout the film.
Yeah, for sure.
So he's dirty.
So it's the tune clause.
Yes, he is, Sean.
That is the tune clause.
He's a dirty boy.
Oh, it's so dirty.
Trevor says, I think I was looking at the wrong section. Yeah, we're going to move on from R2 because clearly none of us are R2-D2 experts here. But I'm going to stand by the fact it is a new R2-D2 and that I am not an R2-D2 expert.
He has spoken.
I'm standing too that it's a new one. I'm going to stand on that
but,
with you.
But you know what I'm also going to stand on? Oh, baby. Come on now, guys.
No. They've already issued this. They already have this out.
For me, do we already have it? Do we already have it, Sean? I don't think we do. Maybe in Funko Pop form, but guys, I got to be honest with you. I don't care what comes out for the rest of the year. This is #1 release of the year for me. Don't care what else comes out. Like, I did my Return of the Jedi 40th video, guys, and many times I talk with Cigars and Ryan and Don and Chris about what I wanted and what we all wanted for a Vader. And this was #1 on my list. If you guys go back and watch my Return of the Jedi 40th video, I said I wanted a Sebastian Shaw head sculpt and an Emperor's Wrath Vader. And once this idea was put in my head by Don and Cigars, it's like I couldn't get it out of my head. I'm like, dude, I have to have this. This makes a lot of sense. I would love to see it. And here we are, guys. I want to say I could believe it's here because I had faith in this idea, but I still can't believe it's here. I really can't because you guys know, for me, it's always going to be the Empire Strikes Back Vader. That is my ultimate Vader. But this is by far, I think, the best Vader set that we have received and ever will receive. I mean, what is going to top a Return of the Jedi Emperor's Wrath Vader that also includes the sculpt for Sebastian Shaw's likeness? Sean, I'm muting you because you're making a lot of noise. So Euler says, the elevator has arrived at the top floor of my heart, dude. Like, yes, exactly. That's what I'm going to do, TX boy. So, but yeah, guys, I mean, come on now. I woke up this morning and of course, Ryan told you guys earlier, like Nate, Ryan, and I were on a 3-way call at like, dude, it had to have been like almost like 7 a.m., just before 7 a.m.
Like 6:30 in the morning we were talking, I think.
Yeah, it was early, bro. But I woke up, dude, and I was like, man, I was like, I was in disbelief. I truly was, because it's like, you hope, and like Ryan was saying about C-3PO, we had a lot of faith in this coming out, but it's like when it actually happens and it happens exactly how you wanted, it's a different story, right? So it's like, to see this come to fruition in such a grand fashion, I mean, guys, this Vader includes everything I could ever want from a Return of the Jedi Vader. I have zero complaints. Zero. Oftentimes we have complaints, we have minor grievances with certain things that were included or not included. I have no complaints about this Vader, guys. I really am blown away by what they've delivered here. The fact that we got this Emperor's Wrath Vader, and I want to point out while we're on this photo too, of course, oftentimes this is not concrete. However, we do have Emperor Palpatine being hoisted above Vader's head here. Me personally, I do see another Return of the Jedi Palpatine coming out. It's just my thought on it is, because they put this in that special anniversary packaging, I think the packaging's way too small for another throne. So me personally, I hate to burst your guys' bubble. I think they're going to go a different route with the Palpatine, and we're going to get something a bit different. Maybe with these lightning effects surrounding his body as Vader's hoisting him up in the air. I just don't see them. I just don't see them doing the throne. The box is way too big for that original throne. It would be very surprising to see that they adapted that to the 40th packaging, because it would be a very big package, and they've been known to do that kind of slimline packaging for this 40th anniversary box. So I do see another Return of the Jedi Palpatine. However, I don't think we're going to get that throne. I got to be honest with you guys, but I don't want to take any too much time away from Vader, but I did want to bring up this Palpatine. But real quick before we do, we got a super chat here from my boy OG fan. OG says, a young Jedi named Darth Vader, who was a pupil of mine until he turned to evil, helped the Empire hunt down and destroy the Jedi Knights. Ultimate Vader. I love that Ben Kenobi quote there, but dude, yes, like, OG, and you're another person I thought of when I first saw this one, dude. Like, I was just absolutely blown away. And then the first thing that came to my head is like, dude, who else is going to be excited? Who am I going to talk to about this? And you're one of them, dude, for sure. So I'm really, really happy for you. I know you're one of those diehard original trilogy fans, so I know this one is very special to you. And I can't wait to see this one in person and get it in hand. Like, this is one of those figures we often talk about, like what we would do if we could pick one figure and kind of bring it to reality now. And for me, this would be one of them. So a question I want to pose to the panel as they're all giggling and laughing about something I don't know about. I'm going to pull up this question here for the panel and for the chat as well. Is this, guys, is this the ultimate 1/6 scale Vader? Let's start with you, Ryan. Is this the ultimate 1/6 scale Vader? And also share your thoughts on this figure, man.
Yeah, it is. It is. If you're talking about the the all-in deluxe, yeah, it is.
Yes.
They, for the price, I think they're giving you just so much in terms of the display bases, the head sculpt, the lighting effect, everything like that. Yeah, I think it is easily for what's offered. I like you said, it was something that was talked about, and seeing it was like, whoa. I was kind of in disbelief when I saw it, because the first shot, and you know what's funny is that, like, I didn't even see Palpatine in the photos, actually, because when I woke up, it was like 4 a.m. and kind of leaned over and saw it, and then I fell back asleep. And then I was looking at it. I was driving to work, talking to Nate. I got to work, and I actually was in the parking lot, like, all right, let me sit and digest these photos. I thought it was like Vader with his hands up just being electrocuted, and then I zoomed in on the photo. I'm like, oh, okay, they did a really, because it's so dark, like it was hard. I was like, oh, he's holding Palpatine. I couldn't even see it. I had to like really like sit down and like digest the photo. I ordered 2 of these, and I never buy 2 of the same figure same day. Like, I don't pull a Nate. I don't do a Nate move. All right, I don't do that. I don't play that game. This, though, they made it incredibly difficult to say no. It's almost like 2 is almost the minimum to go with. Like, it really is, because I had plans in my head. Like, I know how I'm displaying both of them. I did a deluxe and I did a regular. I don't need 2 deluxe. I can't do 2 deluxes. I just don't need all that. But just like if they do, if they come out with a Luke, which they're gonna do a Luke, I'm gonna have to probably buy 2 Lukes, because I have an image in my head, and actually it was an old photo with posing with Peter did it, and I love the shot. He did it where I want to do one of Vader with the Sebastian sculpt with the broken arm, and have his arm over Luke, and Luke is like carrying him. Like, I want that, because I love posing figures in very minimal walking, like realistic walking poses, not dramatic, just very subtle. And I love that pose of them like father and son, like together, like him walking with him. So that's the one pose I want. And that'll be like the regular, and then the deluxe, lit up like this. And I might even swap it and have him and Luke fighting on the steps, depending on what Luke comes with, because Luke might come with more to complete like a little diorama.
Right, he might come with stairs himself.
Yeah, so you don't know what they're playing. You don't know what games they're going to be playing. But definitely got 2 of these things, because there's just so much to work with and do. And like I said, they'll fit in my display very well together. Like, they'll be in different sections of the display, but they'll totally justify. But I think it's absolutely. I mean, they took the quarter scale and they shrunk it down, and it's and
then some, right? Because they added more accessories, right?
They definitely, because I know that was on everyone's list. Like, if they do a 6 scale, just take the quarter scale and scale it down. Well, they did that, plus they gave you extra. Right. But I'm just so excited about this figure. Like, I really am, and I'm really glad that I kind of set myself up where I can afford to go all in on Return of the Jedi, because I really backed off of Phase 4 of Marvel. I really, the only thing Phase 4 Phase 4 from Marvel didn't do it for me. No Way Home is really kind of the last of those figures, like the last of Marvel that I'm going after, aside from like the Mark 1, the Mark 3. But anything else from Phase 4, like, I totally was like, yeah, I'm good. Like, passed on it. Like, I absolutely passed on it, because I knew that this was going to happen, like everybody else did. So I'm easily prepared. And the other thing to note, I know Monica told Nate, because Nate said he got it from Monica, and then I just double checked it. But like, this is MMS 700. This is MMS 700. This
very
is
worthy of MMS 700, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, and I'm so glad
Iron Man.
Iron Man. So like, if it wasn't an Iron Man, and I honestly thought Vulture, dude, this is easily a surprise MMS. I think this is 700. This is 700, and 3PO is 701. That's what Monica told Nate. I just Googled it. Like, you do MMS 700, this comes up. So this is 700.
So it's set in stone then. It's on the internet now.
Yeah, right? This is 700, which is like, this is it, man. And this is like one hell of a curveball thrown. And I love it. Absolutely love it.
And like I said, Ryan, it's like we had a feeling this was coming, and maybe some people didn't have faith in a version this grand, but we knew this was coming in some form or fashion. And if at the bare minimum we got exactly what the quarter scale version was, just shrunk down, I was going to be happy. But Hot Toys said screw that. They gave us that and then some, and I couldn't be happier with this, guys. I'm very, very excited to get this in my collection. But real quick, guys, we have 53 people watching. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already, drop a like on the stream and subscribe if you haven't already. I would very much appreciate it. But we have the collector giving us hope here, guys. Maybe some false hope. He says Ghost, Yoda, Kenobi, and Anakin 3-pack next week. You better get those wallets ready. Well, I don't know if I'll be getting my wallet ready for that, because that's definitely a long shot. But hey, if it happens, you know who said it first, dude. Matt says, Vader time, pass on every Vader awaiting this GOAT edition. I mean, dude, and that goes along with our question again. Is this the ultimate 1/6 Vader? And sounds like for you, Matt, this is the ultimate 1/6 Vader. And I got to be honest with you, it's going to be very interesting seeing this compete with the Kenobi Vader in people's collections, because that's another fantastic set. An absolutely beautiful set. That half sculpt with Anakin Skywalker, that's one that I grabbed 2 of. I forgot to mention, I did, of course, already grab my Return of the Jedi Vader. I will be getting 2 as well. I got to grab a second one, but yeah, this one, I agree, Ryan. It's kind of hard to say no to 2, especially because they gave us that Emperor's Wrath electrocuted head sculpt. You got to have 2. One with the Sebastian Shaw sculpt and one with that, in my opinion. So, really well said, dude. Owen, I want to hear your thoughts on this Vader. As I've got this photo here put up of the Sebastian Shaw head sculpt in this really cool stair diorama base, dude. What are your thoughts? Is this the ultimate 1/6 scale Vader?
Did you see what Matt just said about the poll? I think that's. I'm intrigued to see that as well.
Yes, poll time. So, yeah, that's a good idea. I always forget the polls, as you guys know. So, let's do a poll. Owen, you can start answering, and I'll pull up the poll here.
For me personally, I prefer the Kenobi one, only because of the Hayden Christensen likeness. I'm not a huge fan of the egghead Darth Vader. That's me personally. But I like all the accessories this guy comes with. It's pretty sweet. I was hoping for real leather, though.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's it. I'm pretty indifferent to this one. I'm going to go for the Kenobi.
Short and sweet. Hey, at least you're honest, dude. And obviously, at the end of the day, it comes down to personal opinion. Guys, I did put up the poll just now, though. And, of course, the question I asked you all, and thank you, Matt, for suggesting that, is this the ultimate 1/6 scale Vader? So definitely vote in that poll. And, of course, we'll take a look at that at the end of the stream. 8-Bit Flea says, yeah, this is beautiful. You know the Emperor is coming. Yeah, and I do think that. And we'll touch back on the Emperor once I hear everybody's thoughts on the Vader. I want to address some comments here real quick. So Fad Gadget says, in the future, they could add sound with key sayings and the classic breathing sound. You know, they did that with the first release, A New Hope Vader. And to be honest with you, for me, it's not something that I personally need. I do appreciate that that's something that you would like. Me personally, it's like, if that's going to add to the cost, I'll pass on that personally.
Speakers were so crappy that they would blow.
Yeah.
Mine didn't even work.
Yeah, and then the clothes going over it, it didn't help. It kind of muffled the sound. It wasn't very good, unfortunately. Force Actual says a Palpatine with lightning would be awesome. I agree. And again, I personally don't see him coming with the throne, but that's not to say that that's really that bad of an idea anyway, because a lot of people probably can't fit that throne in their display anyway. I know plenty of people that have bought the original single release of Palpatine without the throne back when he was available for retail in stock. So that might not be a bad thing, you know.
No throne, but royal guards instead. Yes!
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They could pull one out of the hat and give us a little 3-pack action or something, or a 2-pack at the very least. That would be cool.
3-way, huh? Hey.
Yeah, I'd take it. I mean, how often do we see 3-packs? Not very often, but that'd be really cool. And Funky Cold Santa, by the way, good to see you, bro. He says, I agree. I prefer the Kenobi Vader. And that's fair. That's a fantastic figure, guys. I mean, I love it so much. I bought 2 of those because I just love that look, and I love to have that clean look and the half damage sculpt. So I'm excited to check that one out as well. I really think you can't go wrong personally. But moving on to Cigars and Bacon. Cigars, what are your thoughts on this Vader? I know you kind of briefly shared here, but what are your thoughts?
It's good, man. It is the Vader that we've all been asking for. I mean, like what Mr. Mom said was pretty much what I was saying earlier on Geeking Out this morning. They shrunk the quarter scale down, and they added, you know, the eye, separate rolling eyes. They gave us a new different base where you could hold 2 helmets. They gave you the stairwell, you know, probably getting a USB lightsaber. I'm all for it. Like I'm getting 3, 1 for my son and 2 for me. because I want to pose it with. I want the Sebastian Shaw display, and then I want the translucent skeleton, because I mean that's the one I was asking for with Hot Toys. Give me a Vader where I can see the skeleton, and we finally got it. So I got to display both of those. So I'm gonna go all out for it when I'm ready to do it. But yeah, I'm gonna get 3 of them.
Nice.
And then Nate's got me wondering if I should get 2 of the freaking Kenobi Vader, because I just had 1. But when he was like, dude,
yeah, I told Nate not to get 2.
He was like, you got to pose him clean with, both sabers in hand with Inquisitorius. I was like, damn you, Nate.
That's what I told him to do. Yeah, he said he was going to get 1 of those and then get 3 of these. I was like, no, get 2 and 2. I said, get 2 Kenobi Vaders if you're going to double up, and then get 2 of these. And then,
well, he already has a Vader though. I told him that if he already has a Vader in general, I said all you need is the Kenobi with the damaged sculpt. That's all you need. And he was like, yeah, it makes sense. And then you had to turn around Connor and tell him to get 2 Kenobi Vaders. Like I had him
talk some sense into him, Ryan.
Well, I have ESB Vader, so. But I mean, when he brought up the dual wielding with the Inquisitors, I was like, oh, that would look so sweet. But then I'm thinking about it too, like it would still look sweet dual wielding with the battle damage and still the Inquisitors around him, But he's got me second guessing myself. But either way, I'm definitely getting 2 of the 40th Return of the Jedi Vaders. Like I was saying, I wish we would have gotten the meditation chamber just for this.
Oh man, me.
Yeah, is Jazink making that or no?
And the helmet.
They've already made it, right? They've already.
Oh shit! Right, I didn't realize.
Yeah, it costs my mortgage every month.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive. But question from Matt, I wanted to answer. So Matt, we've got 2 A New Hope Vaders, the single release, first release, and then the 2-pack release, which is a different figure. It's much improved. The Tarkin Vader 2-pack release, and then we have the first release Empire Strikes Back Vader, and then the repack Vader, and then we have the quarter scale Vader. So that would be 5 original trilogy Vaders. I don't think I'm missing any. I think that's all of them. So yeah, this will be the 6th Vader in the original trilogy Vader line, and then of course we have all the other Vaders that we got from Rogue One and Kenobi as well. So there's been a lot of Vaders, a lot of love for Vader from Hot Toys, which is great to see.
Only thing is, if I want to get the Kenobi Vader, the only one that's left is the deluxe. So I would have to fork out another like $300 for it.
Yeah, it's pricey, dude.
So I'm like, I think I might just stick with what, like Mr. Mom said, keep just the battle damage Kenobi one and get 2 of these Vaders and call it a day.
Yeah,
because I have the Empire Vader, so I have that as my quote unquote clean one, and then I'm gonna get the battle damage one to show the sculpt, and then these 2 posed up the way I'm gonna.
Yeah, because that's what I was saying this morning before Nate tried to enable me, and I think it was working because I was like, well, I got ESB Vader, and that's my clean Vader. I was and Hayden is battle damage, and then, I get Sebastian Shaw head sculpt posed, and then obviously Emperor's Wrath, skeleton, translucent, electric boogaloo version displayed.
Chris, what did you want to say about these photos?
Thank you for bringing me back to reality, Mr. Mom.
Save that money for the next Return of the Jedi release.
Your logical thinking has brought me back.
Until tomorrow when you talk to Nate.
Yeah,
right. I'll wait for the in-art ones.
When he calls me later tonight and re-enables me.
Next.
I'll wait for the red hair.
Nate's already messaging you now.
I don't know.
Thank you for the points, Matt. Siona page out of Denobi's book with the points. I appreciate it, dude. I think it's pretty likely. I think you can get the head sculpt to fit Andreas. I think it would work with the other ones. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. After looking at it, I think it'll fit with the other ones for sure. Because it looks like it just pegs in like any other head sculpt would. So I think you could certainly make it work with the other Vaders for sure. Alex Stark, I mean, Hot Toys has that effect, dude. Sometimes they make you change your plans out of nowhere. But, yeah, dude, you got to pick this one up. If you're a Star Wars fan, especially original trilogy, like, this is a must-have. Out of all the figures in this line, I think this is the most, like, this is a must-have, dude. I mean, such a fantastic release. I can't wait to see it in person, dude. I can't wait to see the final product. We have a good shot of that Sebastian Shaw sculpt. And I saw 8-Bit Flea saying he wants 2 of these because he wants to have one with the helmet off. And I totally agree. That's why a lot of people are going to be going for this one, man. But Chris, real quick, I know, Sean, I'm not bypassing you, but Chris had sent me 2 photos. Chris, what did you want to say about these photos of the chest box?
Yeah, so pretty much there was a couple people I saw today with the announcements and like even people talking about it in streams. For some reason had thought like the ESB and the Return of the Jedi are the same, like they're essentially the same, just like different helmets and stuff like that, that there wasn't really a difference in the chest box, and there is. I mean, It's very subtle, so unless you were like staring straight at it, you wouldn't know. But
Right.
the first one I sent you, which is right there, is the Empire Strikes Back version. And you can automatically see in the 4, buttons down there, there's like 3 pins. You got one in after the first one, the second one is in the middle towards the top, and then the third one next to the red button. And then with the red and the blue buttons, you got what looks like 2 LEDs, one in the middle and one above. So
Right.
the one in the middle of the 4 buttons, the top one is removed, and then that top LED is removed. And then there's also some like the rods above. There's like different lengths.
Right. So
on
subtle
each one.
differences, really.
Very subtle, but they're different. I know people were asking, but I said it was too much to really explain in detail without seeing it with your own eyes. But Hot Toys, what I wanted to mention is Hot Toys on this Vader, they actually nailed
And there it is.
the
there.
Return of the Jedi. The piece isn't in the middle and it's not above the blue button. And if you look at the Hot Toys Empire Strikes Back, it is there. That piece is in the middle of the button and there's a piece above the button. So Hot Toys did pretty good as far as accuracy with these 2 different Vaders, distinguishing Empire versus Return of the Jedi. And I thought that was pretty cool. And then they also didn't cast the lightsaber for Return of the Jedi the same as Empire either. It's the actual Return of the Jedi
Right,
saber
because his
that
hilt
he
was
uses.
different in all 3 films.
Right. But it was distinguishedly, like, definitely different in Return of the Jedi. I think it's the ugliest hilt out of the 3 of them, but they nailed that as well. And some people were happy about that because I know with the New Hope release of Luke, they gave you the Empire Strikes Back like lightsaber, like the rivets were on the bottom of it, and it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
So kudos to them. I was just giving them props for paying that much attention to the detail, because fans do get intricate with that stuff.
Where were these facts for R2? Why don't you bring these out? We could have definitively told.
Nothing on R2, only cosplay. Vader's my dog.
Whoa, hold on. I gotta send something to Connor because Oilers sent me a picture for R2.
Okay.
So let me send it to you.
Well, while you're doing that,
But Denobi was right. It is a light illusion.
Okay.
Because Oilers sent me a picture to show that it was.
Well, we're gonna give Denobi. I don't have a points button, and I'm sure you're not still here. But if you are, pretend I'm putting up 10 points for Denobi.
You did an amazing job.
Right.
We really appreciate you pointing out our flaw and pointing that out. But that was
Sean,
actually no. But seriously,
Sean's like your Denobi.
No, seriously, for Denobi though.
Sean's sentiment.
No, he was
Exactly.
legit. He saw something and he pointed it out, and he didn't cower down from anything that anyone said. He stuck to his guns, and other people ended up coming out and proving him right. No, I'm just saying that's good because sometimes people in the chat don't. They just back down, and he stuck to his guns, so that's good.
Sean, what Sean's saying, he's a real big fan of you, Denobi. He's really proud of you.
Shut up.
I'm still sticking by that's the new R2. I'm still sticking by that's the new R2 just because of like what Connor said. The weathering is different.
Yeah.
No, it is different, and I agree with you on that. And I don't think it is the same one. I still agree with you guys on that. But he was right about the dent.
To answer Connor's question about it being the ultimate Vader or whatever, I wouldn't even say so because the Obi-Wan Kenobi is pretty good and they represent like different points in Vader's life and both are kind of iconic. And you have the tie-in from Hayden Christensen, who literally is Vader at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, and then the older version of him, which George Lucas gave us. But I'm pretty sure if he could have given like an old Hayden, he would. But
yeah,
very
true. Now, Sean, while we're getting your thoughts on the Vader, how freaking cool is this, man? And it's funny.
Amazing.
I know, like I saw a lot of people like that's the first thing they asked it is like, does the helmet flicker? And Hot Toys said, hell yeah, it does. Here's a video of it, dude. It looks so cool. I mean,
it was like they sent somebody listening. Because remember when I said what I wanted and how it could be done with a translucent helmet and you put in a skull on the inside and have a light that could flicker so that way it shows the skulls outline.
Yeah,
It's like
it looks
somebody
Yeah,
was
I said
actually
that-
there
yeah,
and
I
constantly
said-
listening.
I said that 2 years
Yeah.
ago.
Some people said it's like
I'm
it
gonna
looks
punch
like
you in
a
the
toy
face so
too,
hard.
and
It looks like
I
a
mean,
toy.
yes,
What?
yeah, people were.
It is a toy. It's a hot toy.
Well, people didn't
It's not
really
just
care
any
for this
toy,
because
it's a
it's
hot
supposed
toy.
to be a high-end collectible. People didn't really care for that, but like the fact that they attempted it and threw it in there is like pretty dope because there were people that were asking about it.
It
but
is. I like this. The Ray.
I like it. I'll take it, man.
Dude, I mean, and I know what you're saying, and I know what they're saying, Chris. Admittedly, yes, because it's that translucent clear plastic, it's going to look a little cheap, but I don't give a crap. I like it. I
That's
think it's
what I'm
awesome.
saying.
I'm
That's
glad
the
they
only
included
way
it.
that you're gonna get the skull
Exactly.
to be visible is with translucent plastic. You know,
Exactly.
it has to be that way.
Yep. I agree. I mean, I think it's
Especially, like,
awesome.
if you want the skull to be visible, like it has to be translucent.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
agree.
That
You
dude's
can't
getting
just do
lit
it. You
up.
can't just do an all black helmet and then throw in lights. It wouldn't look right. You would just see light coming out of his eyes.
It would look cheap, even
Yeah.
cheaper than
That
some
would
people
look
may think
more like
this
a
looks,
toy.
right?
It would look
Exactly.
more like a toy if you did it the other way instead of making it translucent plastic, placing a skull in there, which they did,
Yep.
and then having the light system inside of that as well. I mean, because this one you can see the skull. Like
Yep, you can see the
that
teeth
light
right
is-
here. How
yeah,
cool is that,
you
man?
can see the outline of the actual skull, so you know that there's a skull inside of the translucent shell.
Yeah. Hey, Aaliyah's gonna find me in the dark with Palpatine and see it flicker, and
You're
she's
like,
gonna
"Oh,
open the door.
cool!"
I'm gonna be like, "Get out! Leave me alone!"
It's not what it looks like.
Sean, I want to hear your thoughts on this Vader, man. Tell us what you think of this Vader, and to you, is this the ultimate 1/6 scale Vader that we've seen thus far?
So this is the ultimate Vader. I'm really impressed with how they did this for one. The head sculpt is amazing also. And I agree with Ryan about how they shrank it down
Yeah.
from the 1/4 to the 1/6, which is really good.
But better.
And I also agree with CNB because he did say it earlier this morning too. But I agree with both of them. I mean, that head sculpt's amazing right there. How they did that. So I ordered the deluxe one today. I do want to order. Shut up, dogs. I do want to order the other one, but I'm just holding off for now to see exactly what else they're going to come out with. If they do come out with another Palpatine to come with this, I hope it has a light up hands feature where all the electrical or the lightning bolts that are coming from the Sith lightning is actually lit up.
I thought they could do it like Whiplash.
So-
with, like, the
Yeah.
sort of cable
Right.
coming out in lightning.
And I wanted to point
I hope
something
we
out,
get
Sean.
Palpatine's screaming face, the cackling face.
Yeah, so let me go back to those photos because actually, CMB, the sculpt, at least the sculpt. Now, of course, this could be a placeholder until they actually fully reveal him. But it looked like he had the same sculpt in this photo, and I don't know why it's cut off because you could definitely see it in the other photos. Is there another photo of him holding Palpatine, or is that the only one?
Yeah, no,
there it is,
There
there
it
it
is, right
is.
there.
See, that's
You
the
can see
same
that
sculpt from
smirk.
the
You see
original.
there's the smiling face.
But
The
so
original
I
one.
wanted to take a look at this because someone had a question. They posted on 6 Scale Survival Guide and they're like, "Are those the same lightning effects?" So maybe we can kind of dissect that now.
You know, I was thinking about it. It could be the Black Adam lightning effect that they're using,
It could, yeah, because they do reuse those a lot.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same stuff
or
with,
even
like
the Miles
Dooku,
Morales or type of deals. You know, like they do reuse those lightning effects for different.
Mando has that
characters.
too.
Yeah,
Mando
and
has it
Flash.
for the
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, Flash, exactly. So I mean, it could just be a reused lightning.
So
instead
let's
of,
so let's take a look real quick. So we see those lightning effects there, right? Now I don't know if it's the photos, but I will say, guys, the lightning effects that came with the first Palpatine look very purple. And these photos, I don't know about you guys, these look blue to me,
blue.
right?
but that
so-
could be Photoshop.
Right, so
Because-
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
It could
I
be
think
it
that they're
could be the
I think
lighting.
they're lightning effects from just something else they threw.
Right,
in
it
there,
could be the
honestly.
lightning is photoshopped, or it could be they're from something else. So take this with a grain of
I
salt,
have-
guys. But here's the
Yeah,
the
see?
effects that come
That's
with
blue.
the other one.
That's from Flash.
But I
Because
mean,
the ones that
regardless
come
if
with the
it,
original
Yeah, they
ones,
look purple there.
They're purple. And they're
Yeah, so-
and they split off differently than the one you see in the
That's the
photo.
other thing too. It's a
Purple.
different, it's a completely different lightning effect. So again, they could just reuse it. It could just be a photo. We may never get a Palpatine, but I do
There
find
we
that
go
very
again.
interesting. I do find that
Trying
very
to see
interesting.
if there's a dark side Anakin coming too. We just all want 2.0s, don't we?
But listen, Chris, that's different, right? Because this is the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. The anniversary for Revenge of the
I don't
Sith
see you
hasn't happened
complaining
yet.
for them 2.0s.
Yeah, not at
Hell
all.
no, because
Not
I'm
at
getting
all.
them all.
All right,
I'm just
then.
pointing
Hi,
out
Pot.
the facts.
My name is Kettle.
Matt asked if the special edition is a different color. Are you talking about the special edition for? Because there's a deluxe edition for.
Maybe talking about Palpatine.
Because
Palpatine came.
This
with
is
two
the
versions.
throne version right
Yeah.
here.
Because
This
that's
is
the
the-
one I got is the throne version.
Me too. Yeah. Let me look at the. We'll look at the single release, Matt, just to humor you and see. Do they have these together? Of course they don't. Of course I have to find the.
Although on the Vader pictures, it looked like they did wrap around his fingers. I don't have Palpatine, so I can't really comment. But it looked like it was specific for hands.
Did the sculpt? I feel like you could see the sculpt in there a little bit, and it kind of looked a bit different.
I don't know. To me, I'll be honest with you. I do think the sculpt is the same in those photos. If we look closely, like I have the Palpatine in my collection, of course.
You
That
see-
looks like the same sculpt.
It wraps around his finger. That's definitely like a specific one for.
Yeah, that is
They
true.
definitely
Even in the
wa- they-
pinky. Yeah, Owen, that's a good point, dude. Even in the
It
pinky
definitely
right
wanted
there.
to hide that face, though.
Yeah,
I
I've-
got that hood.
Right, they might be doing a different sculpt, dude. You never
Them,
know.
yeah, it might not be ready.
I hope we get the
Looks
like
like
the
a ball
screaming,
sack.
cackling.
Yeah, I'm
Screaming,
imagining it
cackling
like the DX11 laughing sculpt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
That'd be pretty sweet,
So,
dude.
guys, hold on. This might be our
Remember
DX with two sculpts. This may be a DX.
I can see that being a DX.
Yo, USB with the hands light up at the
If
end.
it's USB,
Yeah,
bro, I'll
literally
be
like the
fine.
whiplash, so you can like on a wire bend it.
Yeah, like
That'd be
the
sweet.
filtering
They
effect
just have to use
with,
the same technology as Miles Morales' 2020 suit, where the USB plugs into the
yeah,
actual
but the hands
body.
light up and they flicker. So
Exactly.
That'd
yeah,
be
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, that would
If
be
this
cool.
Vader wasn't a DX, though, like with the two bases,
That's
and
puzzling
the
to me.
ways
That's
you
why-
Yeah,
get
especially with the
two
Kenobi
helmet-
Vader.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be Jabba.
Yeah, that's what Nate and I were talking about. Like, if Vader wasn't a DX, and look how much we're getting, can you imagine what the Return of the Jedi DX is actually going to be, and what it's all going to come with?
No, it'll be like a
Compared to Luke.
come
Dude.
with nothing.
Let me
We
say
may
this.
not even have a DX though for Return.
I was
of
gonna
the
say
Jedi.
that it's very possible that we just don't have a DX.
And part of it, yeah,
Yeah,
part of it
That
is the
40th anniversary
packaging.
packaging.
That's true.
Yeah.
Part of it is that packaging. We have to think about that. That is true.
Yeah,
Because they
that's what
wouldn't do a
Nate did
DX
bring
with that
up.
packaging.
They're
Nate
weaving
brought that up,
DX
that
features
you told
into
him,
all the
Connor,
figures.
That you said
Yeah.
that you have to think about the packaging, because it's
Yeah.
all
It's
going to say 40th anniversary, and that wouldn't make sense for it to
Because
say
Vader also
40th
has rolling
anniversary
eyes
DX.
too.
Yeah.
The Vader has a rolling eye system, so it literally has
Yeah.
everything a DX would have. It's just not a DX.
It's got more than the.
It's got more than the
DX.
DX, I would argue.
Yeah, than the Vader, the Obi-Wan one.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is a
I
tough
really
call,
don't. I
guys,
would.
with
I
this
would not be
Palpatine.
shocked if you just
If
don't
he
get
would-
a DX. Like it's not guaranteed. People are
Yeah,
assuming.
no,
you do.
I don't think we'll get that. Like,
There's no
I don't
need
think it'll
for it.
be in a. Yeah, I don't think it'll be officially titled the DX. I just
There's
think
a
that like
trickle in.
there
the,
might be something. Let's say that Palpatine comes with everything we're saying, like USB maybe comes with 2 Royal Guards, like it's a 3-pack. Like that might be their definitive DX for the 40th anniversary without calling it a DX.
Right,
Just
and they
so
did that
way-
with the Vader, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's certainly DX capable, right?
You know what they also could have done here is like, how do we even know those lightning effects belong to him?
Well, yeah, we were saying that
Yeah,
they
that's
could have
what
been
I'm saying,
borrowed.
yeah.
This could be, there could be nothing, right? Because it's the same sculpt. We see that. But these are different lightning effects. And I do agree.
Just to match the head sculpt lighting up there.
Right, it very well could be. But I do agree. These are awfully specific for these hands. And again, Balls Deep pointed out that, well, yes, the original ones did wrap around the hands. And they did. But like Cigar said, this looks like a different lightning pattern to me. And of course, it's a different color. That's grain of salt because that could be Photoshop. But I don't know, dude. It's definitely a good sign. At the very least, we're gonna keep that in the back of our minds because I think it's very possible. And Misfit here, Misfit, it's good to see you, by the way. He says, as much as I like the unmasked Vader, I prefer the look of the half Anakin Vader portrait from the Kenobi series. And again, that's very fair. You really can't go wrong with either one. And a lot of it depends on what you grew up with, right? Some people didn't grow up with the trilogy, so even though they very much enjoy the original trilogy, they may prefer the newer content. So I totally get that. And a lot of people who grew up on the prequels, they have a strong tie to Hayden Christensen. So
Yeah.
totally get it, dude. I totally get it. Trust me. Exactly. So balls deep, it could mean nothing, but it could mean something. You never know. I mean, I could certainly see this happening. Again, I don't see it happening with the throne because of the way the packaging is laid out. It just seems like they would have to make a massive box to fit that, and I just don't see it happening, but you never know. And yes, exactly, but this is a DX. This is exactly what we got with the Kenobi Vader and then some, bro. Like, this certainly is a DX, but I think Cigars makes a good point, and Chris makes a good point as well about that packaging. Like, they're not going to do a DX release most likely and call it a DX because obviously the DX has a very specific package, and they're not going to stray away from this 40th packaging because that's really the whole point of the line. So, yeah, we're probably not going to see a actual DX from this line. That makes a lot of sense.
Could you imagine, though, the first 40th like anniversary packaging of DX, though, like what they could do with it if they did?
Well,
They've been changing it with the Star Wars ones.
Yeah.
Like the DX packaging is different as it used to be.
Yeah.
Well, here's the question.
Imagine, like, an
You know
anniversary
what-
one.
Well, here's the thing: is you know what this Vader has now, like this Vader. Let's just say, if it was a DX, what would you want it to be? It called a DX at this point. I just like what else?
Yeah,
would it-
this doesn't
It
have
doesn't-
to be a DX.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what
DX doesn't mean anything
is.
anymore.
You would think like something
Well, that's
that
what I mean,
didn't
though.
come
That's
with
what I'm trying to say,
anything
like-
versus this, which
because
you would
like
think
Ahsoka
would be.
was a DX, right? Ahsoka was a
Yeah.
DX,
Luke.
and Best of Luke is a DX, and they were both duds. Personally, like, they don't need to be DXs.
DX.
They're
I could
Have you
justify
ever
it more
even
for
figured
Luke, but
out what it
Ahsoka.
stands
They're
for?
DX
Luke
in
doesn't
name
have a
only.
USB lightsaber, though. Like if Luke has a USB lightsaber, I'd be like, all right, DX. It doesn't have a USB
Right.
lightsaber.
Yeah, that
Ahsoka
was-
doesn't even light up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
And-
hers don't even light up either. So it's
It's
like I
because
really
she's got
think
those
that
seamless arms, right?
Or,
Yeah,
or
I
her
know.
lamp.
I just
Her
think
lamp
that Hot
doesn't
Toys
light
has
up either.
saturated the DX line where it's like it's not as valuable as what it is because they've incorporated those features into other, like eye rolling system would have been DX exclusive, USB lightsaber would have been DX exclusive. You're getting that with figures that are $279. Yet I would be
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's no like Jabba the Hutt DX. Why would it have to be called a DX to make it a DX?
If it came with Leia.
Like,
but why?
or even the platform that he sits on and smokes his hookah. Like, he comes with a hookah and everything. But I agree, Ryan. It doesn't,
He would need a platform
because-
anyway, though.
because the DX line, well, it depends on how they sculpt it, right? Like, if he's completely flat on the bottom, not necessarily. Like, I could see them maybe doing a standard version.
Matt just said
and
it
a deluxe,
there.
but...
DX is a marketing term. You see,
Oh, it
DX,
certainly
you
is. No,
think,
I
ooh,
agree with that. It
yeah.
certainly
Yeah.
is.
I
It
just think that
certainly
they've
is.
saturated it themselves, where they kind of just phased
And-
it out.
Yeah, and like Matt mentioned the rolling eyes earlier. Like, yeah, the rolling eyes were specifically for the DX line before. Now they're not. So yeah, the line is very much kind of getting phased out, in my opinion. It needs a refresh.
DX19 was the last real.
Or they don't.
I-
Even,
I-
I don't
yeah.
think they need to do them anymore, honestly, because they're doing such a good
Yeah.
job with what they're releasing.
I would like them to do them, but if they do, they need to elevate and do something different, right? Like it
All
needs to be a
leather.
noticeable difference.
Like if this was
Exactly.
a DX where this thing was all leather
Yeah, I agree. That would have been a
That'd
big
be
change
awesome.
for me.
and USB, like the body was USB. 'cause that's not
Everything,
USB,
right? Full upgrades and everything. Or like people like I've mentioned this before. People really like the idea of the rooted hair within art. So if Hot Toys like we're gonna do no, seriously, like Hot Toys is like we're gonna do premium rooted hair for a DX figure. Like maybe that's the direction they can go with the DX line.
Like,
Something
Yeah.
if I had to
different.
say a disappointment, I actually not that I'm disappointed, but like I am slightly surprised that we didn't get leather with this one.
Yeah, me too.
I am too, but also the same thing is I've never had issues with my current ones. Knock on wood. So it's like
but the leather has been. It goes back to an issue that I have with Hot Toys is their inconsistency with use of materials. Like Wolverine has a leather jacket, but then this one doesn't. Then that one doesn't.
Yeah, that's
Crosshair.
very
Crosshair
odd.
randomly has leather.
Crosshair has leather in his
could show-
undersuit. Yeah, it's very
You
odd.
could also
very odd.
you're showing us that you can utilize it in
His
figures,
holster is
so let's
leather
be-
too.
Yeah.
Let's be consistent
Hey,
with what's going
Even
on.
my
you know?
sideshow one doesn't have problems, and I'm throwing that thing out the window. So I have faith.
I'm not
in
even talking
this.
about it for like a problem issue. just
Yeah,
the-
I was gonna say that too.
It'd just be nice.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have it. Like,
Knowing that it's
him,
got the
Return of
longevity.
Jedi sideshow Vader, and that one's been in his detol for almost 2 years now. No,
It's actually
issues.
not
Never
bad compared to other Vaders.
Yeah.
Never even put 303 on it. Nothing. No flaking. No nothing.
yeah, I don't 303 my stuff, and it's perfect.
Yeah, mine have been good. I like the DX is gone. This should be DX is gone. Collector's edition is all that remains. Yes, and 8-Bit says DX is just a logo in a box. I mean, unfortunately, yeah, that's really the fact of the matter. That's all it is, man. It really is. And again, I would
Box
love to
is nice.
see them redo it. Yeah, the box is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I love the box, but it's like I think they need to reinvent themselves.
I like
with
the
that
box
line.
as I'm walking into my dumpster, throwing it out in my trash can. It's a nice box while I'm walking out, throwing it out.
Oh, the disrespect. But we're going to move on, guys. Again, really excited to get this Vader in my collection. I think everybody here can agree that this is going to be one of the biggest releases, or I should say announcements of the year. In terms of pricing, guys, for this one, you're looking at like $345 for the deluxe, and I think $300 for the standard. So the pricing lines up with the Kenobi Vader, so I'm perfectly fine with that. And then C-3PO, we didn't mention the exact price. I think it's what, $324, $325? I think it was the price for
$325.
$325. Okay, so yeah, pricing lines up, guys. I'm glad to see that the pricing is kind of leveled out. Very good to see that. He said it's huge. Yes, sir.
That's what she said.
That is what she said. Some guy says, let's show our brothers on the panel some love. Like and subscribe to the Hot Toys Hotline. But yes, guys, thank you so much, Some. Those that are here, if you haven't already, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to not only me, but our fellow panel members. We very much appreciate it. But moving on, guys. Somebody here, and that somebody is Cigars, is going to be really excited for this next one.
Street Fighter.
Oh,
Yeah,
baby.
boy.
Oh, baby. Guys, I mean, come on now. Come on now. We've been talking about this for a while now. Ever since we got that little tease of Ken long ago. Many months ago, we're like, come on, man. I can't wait for this Ken to come out. So, yes, guys, Ken from Iconiq Studios is finally here. Cigars, and I'm going to start with you after I share my thoughts. But, dude, like, I couldn't be more happy with what I'm seeing here with this prototype. The thing that made me the most happy about this one is, of course, we got two head sculpts like we did with the Ryu, but Ken has swappable hair pieces, so you could swap between that kind of parted hair look and that crazy look where his hair is kind of all hanging down in his face. And I love that they made it swappable. Of course, that is not a new feature by any means. Hot Toys has done that for years and other companies. But it's awesome to see that Iconiq is paying attention to details there and giving you that option. And guys, I think it looks great. And now a question that a lot of people have is, did they reuse the body from Ryu? As far as I could see here, yes, this is a reused body, so keep that in mind. It looks like the exact same body, yes.
Oh, to me it looked a bit different because it looked a little thinner.
Yeah, no, to me, when you look at them side by side, it looks like the exact same body. Maybe I could see a bit of a difference in the color and the skin. I don't know if that's like a lighting thing there, but Cigars, I think you would agree. Their proportions are very similar, so I don't really have a problem with that. And it's a fantastic body as it is, so it's like I don't really have any complaints about that personally.
No, I don't either. Like, I'm impressed. Like, the price is cheaper than Ryu, wasn't he? Isn't he? Because he's $289.
So that actually was the original retail price for Ryu.
Yeah,
I know people were hiking it up towards the end of him starting to sell out, but the original retail price is $289. So yeah, actually he's right on par with the price, which is great to see.
No, because I had to buy him through Iconiq because I missed out on Sideshow.
Right.
So I'm going to make sure not to miss Ken. But I'm really impressed on the fact that, like, you get a lot more with Ken than you did with Ryu. Like, you get 4 different hairstyles.
So it's actually, I thought it was 4 at first too. It's 2, but you could swap it between the 2 sculpts.
Okay, well, you still, 2 hairstyles, 2 head sculpts. You get the flaming uppercut effect, flaming foot, hurricane kick effect. So actually, now I think about it, it's pretty much the same accessories because Ryu had the duffel bag. And
that's true. Oh, that's right. Ryu did have that duffel bag, but still, though, it's like it's a good deal. Now, guys, for those of you that are new, for those of you that are new to seamless body, specifically TB League, they're very expensive. Some of them are like $150. So it's like $289 for this. You get an incredible amount of stuff, in my opinion, for that price. I think it's a great price, personally. I'm glad they stuck in that same price point. I love that, like, Shoryuken uppercut and that flaming hurricane kick accessory. It looks great. And Cigars, you can attest to this. That Hadouken ball in person is beautiful. Like, the sculpting's very good. The resin is nice and clear. It looks great, dude. I really think it does. And I think that's going to be no exception on this one. I'm really excited about this one.
Pictures don't do it justice. Like, when you look at pictures of the Hadouken, whatever, the fireball. When you look at the fireball, like, in pictures, you're kind of like, it looks kind of gimmicky, like a toy. It's translucent, whatever. But when you see it in person, you see when the light reflects off of it and everything, it looks a lot better.
Dude, totally. And I've seen some people, even like a Norm from Tested, when he did his review on Ryu, he stuck a little LED in there and it just brought it to life. So I'm like, that's an easy little hack you could do. And I think you could get one even brighter than his. And I think that would be really cool, man.
It's funny that TX Boy 210 asked that, because I literally wrote in Iconiq when they posted Ken, I wrote on their Facebook thing, can we get an evil Ryu or Akuma next, please?
Dude, everyone is saying Akuma. Now, for me, I would love an Akuma. Don't get me wrong. I'd love a Cammy. Cammy would be awesome. Imagine the cheeks on Cammy, dude. Like, if they did a Cammy with a seamless body.
Yeah. Akuma,
Can you imagine?
Evil Ryu, or Blanca. Dude,
Blanca.
imagine
So
a
yeah,
Blanca
there you go. Now you're
with a
speaking my
TV
language,
A
dude.
TV League body, Blanca, specially designed. Man.
See, Blanca was my ultimate spam character as a kid. That was my main
Yeah, mine
as a
too.
kid was
The
Blanca,
electricity.
dude. Yes,
Electricity.
dude. Yeah, it's so cheap, but it's so fun to play him, man. And I've stuck with him. Man. So I told Andrew from Iconiq, I kind of dropped him a hint. I'm like, hey, dude, if you could do a Blanca, that'd be great. He's like, well, I'm not confirming or denying anything, but I will say the packaging is made in Brazil. So you have that going for you at least. I'm like, awesome. At least I got something. Of course, that's not confirming anything. He's just kind of joking around with me. But man, I'm very pleased with how this looks. And
You need to get a hold of Andrew and whisper Akuma and Evil Ryu into his ear.
I think at this point he knows, dude. All of the comments, I swear, all of the comments in the past like freaking 3 weeks, I should say 2 weeks, really building up to him officially announcing this, was I want Akuma, give us Evil Ryu. Like it's just nonstop people commenting. So I think at this point he's got the hint. A lot of people want that Akuma, especially, but. Yeah, I agree, TX Boy. It's so awesome to see, and I mentioned this. I did a video on this earlier, just kind of sharing my thoughts, and I really think it was a great idea for them to go with Street Fighter V, because they have those updated visuals, right? And I think that lends itself really well when you put these figures in with other more realistic 1/6 scale figures. I think that was a great choice, and a lot of people have asked, like, oh, why do you think they picked Street Fighter V? Well, that's why. I think it was the great starting point for them because those are much more realistic models, and I think it was very smart of them because I think they translated very well with that Ryu figure, and I think this one is no exception. I think he looks great. I love the swap-out hairpiece idea. I think that's fantastic, and with the Ryu, you also got full wiring in that gi, so you can pose the gi, you could pose the belt. The owners of Iconiq are really true collectors at heart. Believe it or not, Andrew, one of the owners of Iconiq, has his own YouTube channel. He's got a ton of subscribers. So he's had his own YouTube channel doing 1/6 scale stuff for a long time. So he's a real collector through and through. And it's very much shown with these figures. The attention to detail is incredible. Cigars, the unboxing experience is amazing. Them going through that unboxing experience with the Ryu stage backdrop, with the gloves, just everything. It's just so cool. So much fan service. And I'm really excited for this one. I really am. I was just blown away when I saw these photos earlier.
I'm just glad that they, from what we saw before it became the final, when we saw it like unpainted and everything, and I was making fun of it back in the day when I was calling it Yabba Dabba Dukin, because he looked like Fred Flintstone merged with Street Fighter.
Right.
So
with the feet.
I'm just glad the feet, dude. So I mean, I'm just glad that from what I saw when I was making fun of it to what we got for final product was completely different, and it blew me away. So when I did see the final product with Ryu, and then everything else that Iconiq's doing, we just got announced Patrick Bateman's on the way, and he's done.
Very soon, within the next couple of weeks, it should be, if everything goes well.
So that just shows that the troubles that they were having with the Screaming Head sculpt, they were actually able to remedy it, and
it looks great.
Yeah.
It looks great, man.
So like I'm impressed with Iconiq. I think that this is definitely a company that's obviously coming up, but they're coming up really fast.
And they're gonna shine. If they continue to do what they're doing, they're gonna absolutely shine. I totally agree, man.
Especially since their Silent Hill figures are coming too.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can't wait for those. Pyramid Head and Nurse. Come on now. Ian says, I also want Balrog. Hell, give me them all. Bro, I mean, at this point, it's like, I think they know that this line's going to do very well. So I think they're going to do as many as they can while still paying attention to other lines, of course.
Chun-Li.
Chun-Li, yes. Chun-Li is a must. Definitely a must, in my opinion. She's just so iconic. And to have her with Ryu would be amazing, man. 8-Bit says, ordered Ryu today, and I will pre-order Ken. I actually did pre-order Ken through Iconiq. If you guys registered your Ryu figure, they sent out a discount code, and it was like $28 off. Almost $29 off. So I'm like, I might as well get it through Iconiq because I'll get it very quickly compared to the other retailers. So that's what I went with. Ian says the cami cheeks would be amazing. Yes, sir. They would have to make a new body for Blanca. Yes, it would have to be a specially noodly designed body. But of course, for Cammy and other female figures, they'll have to do that as well. So I don't see it completely off the table.
I need to get with you after the stream about registering the figure and what to do.
Yeah,
So I can
yeah, I'll
register my
show you
Rio
how
and
to
get
do
that
it because
discount. All
I
right.
had to have Andrew show me how to do it because he let me know about it. I'm like, oh, I didn't even mention that in my video. I completely missed that there was a way to register your product. Yes, KTH Vega would be cool. 8-Bit agrees. He would like to see Vega as well.
I want
Yeah.
C Viper.
That would be cool as well. I mean, dude, there's
She's
just
bad, boy. She's bad.
I know, bro. There'd be so many I couldn't say no to be honest with you. Eddie says they should come with battle damage sculpts. Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, I do like that there's a relaxed sculpt and a fighting sculpt, but on the panel, I know a lot of you guys aren't really into Street Fighter. Does anybody have anything to add before we move on? I could tell you all are like, I don't like Street Fighter. But hey, we have Street Fighter fans in the chat. They're holding it down. We appreciate you. And Nathan's over here saying, I'm going to buy every Street Fighter Iconiq figure wants to release. Iconiq wants to release. So I don't think we have any other thoughts from the panel, so we can certainly move on. But real quick, guys.
Just want to say congratulations to you guys who are getting it.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
DNB.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That's about it.
Thank you so much.
That's basically what I was going to say, too, for everyone who wanted.
Awesome.
I second that.
All right, well, since these guys are buzzkills, we'll move on to something more exciting for them.
How are we being a buzzkill? We're telling everyone congratulations for who
they
won
don't play
it.
video games, losers.
Wow. But this one should be more exciting, right, guys? This one should be a little more exciting.
Yes, deep fake Queen Amidala.
Okay,
So
don't you
exciting.
dare.
Deep fake. Get out of here, Sean.
This is Geisha doll Amidala. This is like, woo.
It actually is not that bad.
Hey man, I pre-ordered this today. So
I did too, bro. I mean, so guys, this one is actually up on 1.6 kit. Before we get started talking about it, this is third party. So I saw some people saying, "Wait, is that really a Hot Toys product?" No, it's not. This is third party.
Use that code.
So this is available on, and Chris, thank you for reminding me, guys. This is available on 1.6 kit. So if this is something you're interested in, of course, use code Hotline for $10 off your purchase. I do not get any kickbacks. Of course, any figures that we talk about later, which we're going to talk about some more third-party stuff, any of those, this code does apply, but it is a one-time use code, so keep that in mind. But yes, use code Hotline for $10 off your purchase. But yes, this is now available on 1.6 kit, probably other places as well, but I usually purchase my third-party from 1.6 kit. I did grab this one, guys. I got to be honest with you. I mentioned to you many times, you guys know I'm a big Natalie Portman fan. So I had to scoop this one up. The pricing was pretty fair to me at $140. I have been told by third-party experts like my boy Big Brita, and I think Kaiju mentioned as well, this company's bodies typically are absolute garbage. So I'm already planning ahead for that. Maybe I'll get a custom display stand or something to alleviate from her crumbling down onto my table. But I do think this sculpt looks pretty good. I got to be honest with you. I mean, is it 100% there? Not necessarily, but I have no complaints about it. And obviously with this one, it's not as impressive as the Padme sculpt from Hot Toys or the Mighty Thor sculpt. But I think her having that face paint really kind of hides any of their crimes that there may be with this head sculpt. I think it looks pretty decent. Ryan, I know you pre-ordered this one today. What are your thoughts on this figure, man?
I mean, for the for the price of what it was, I kind of hope it gets a little bit better. Like the hair looks a little plasticky to me. It doesn't look perfect. But I mean, it looks passable. Where I'm willing to take a shot at it for the price, for what it was. Where I'm going to probably have the reason why I'm okay with it because this isn't going to be displayed front and center in my collection personally. So it's not something that I want Episode 1 represented as much as possible. There's next to nothing. So to have this piece there, I think it'll be pretty cool. Maybe working something with Padme from Episode 2. Who knows? Trying to figure out. But I don't mind it just because, like I said, where it's going to go in my collection, it's not going to be like a front and center piece. It's going to be kind of sitting in the back, like with other Star Wars figures that I have.
Me too.
So,
Me too.
It's not going to be one of those where it's not going to be front and center, as I said, where it's going to be like, stared at. So it's just a nice accessory piece. It's one of those where I was okay taking a chance on it and seeing what's going on. I mean, even with the discount code, the deposit was next to nothing, where, to be very honest, if like Brita gets this early on and does a review on it and I don't like it, maybe I won't get it then. You know what I mean? Like the deposit itself wasn't that much to where I'm okay with like, hey, if a review comes out where I'm like, all right, maybe it's not as good as what I thought it was going to be, I'm all right kind of passing on it. Honestly, I'll be very
Does the
upfront.
bottom light up?
What's that?
Sorry to cut you off. I was just
Does the bottom light up?
No, I didn't hear what you said.
I doubt it.
No.
But no, I agree.
But as I said, I'm all right. I think the deposit after I used the code was like, I don't know, I spent like 10, $15, $12
Yeah,
deposit.
it was $20 before the code. So then you put in the code.
Yeah,
it's
so the
$10
code,
off,
a $10 deposit. I mean, to me, I'm okay losing that if a review comes out and it's like, all right, this thing's garbage. I'm not going to waste my time. Then I'll pass on it. I'm okay with that. $10 down the drain isn't a big deal. It's not a true NRD to me, so I'm all right with that.
Yeah. And Matt makes a good point. Obviously, oftentimes with smaller third-party companies like this, there is a lot of degradation and some issues. So, Matt, I mean, Ryan put it perfectly. We're taking a chance on this. Certainly taking a chance. Not as much of a guaranteed win, like, and not necessarily even guaranteed with them, but more so with like So Toys and Mars Toys. You know, you're going to get a much better product than a lot of these no-name third-party companies. So. Not only that, Kid had mentioned, guys, if you do pre-order this, it's going to be a long wait time. He said expect about 6 to 12 months, barring any delays. So keep that in mind. You're going to be waiting a while. But
how much is it for, Connor?
$140 before the discount code. So if you use discount code, you'll get it for $130 out the door with shipping. So it's not terrible. It's definitely a pretty inexpensive figure. Again, I do agree with Matt. There is a chance that this will come up or this will show up and it'll be absolute dog doo-doo, but you never know. TX Boy says, I'm not a fan of that look, but it is gorgeous. I can appreciate the artistic side of it for sure. CSI, I would love a Jar Jar Binks. Again, I know a lot of people hate Jar Jar Binks as a character. I would totally take one. I would love to get a Jar Jar Binks. Certainly.
That's what my kid wants, is Jar Jar Binks figure.
Yeah, I would love to see it, man. I really would. Maybe when they go back and...
Yeah, I don't know if you
there he
heard
is.
him in
Yeah,
the
there
back.
he is. I love it.
Yeah,
He's funny, man. I heard that. It's so funny. Raxa says, I would only buy a Natalie Portman figure if it's in her metal chastity bikini from Your Highness. Well, hey, maybe third party's got your back there, man. KTH, it's funny. I actually just saw someone putting together a really cool looking child Anakin with different parts from different creators. So I don't know if I've ever seen a third party release of one because I definitely probably would have grabbed that, but you never know. Owen, Mr. Third Party Man, what are your thoughts on this, dude?
I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I haven't received anything from that company, but they're making Alita.
Oh, they're the ones doing Alita. Okay.
Yeah, and it looked really good, like too good, where people were like suspicious because
yeah, ain't no way, right? That's
yeah, but yeah, I mean, if it comes out like 80% as good as what it looks right there, I think people are pretty happy for like 140. Can't really grumble.
Yeah,
have that at the back of your display.
Yeah, and I think like it's such a basic figure, and it's like she's not doing action posing in this like in Attack of the Clones. She's just standing straight up and down. So
for sure.
If you get a display base that kind of helps her stand a little better, because again, I've heard these bodies are pretty trash. So if that's the same case, then I'll probably end up getting a custom base for it. But you know,
I can see the fluffy bits looking horrendous, though.
That is true.
They're the bits that I think could lose a lot from the promo pics, but we have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean Yeah, that's true. I mean, even Hot Toys, a lot of people had to complain about the fur on the armor, and I even said, like, I got the 3-0 Hound, the new one, and I think the fur on that one was much better than what was on the armor. So,
the fur on 3-0 in general with their Game of Thrones is
pretty
really
good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Now, Chris, I know you're kind of considering picking this one up, right?
Yeah, just considering. I don't know if I want 2 representations of Padme in the collection just yet. And not just that, but say Hot Toys does decide to visit Phantom Menace again, I kind of want to hold out to see if they do other versions of Padme and stuff like that. So,
right.
And who knows, for Revenge of the Sith as well. So probably at the moment, if she's inexpensive now, I'm sure she'll remain the same. We'll see as time goes on.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair to say. Cigars, I know this one, you're not really particularly fond of this look, or at least maybe in figure form from this company, but is this something you would ever consider at all, Cigars?
Nope.
I do think it looks good, though, like at the end of the day, and especially for what you guys were saying at that price. Yeah, I can see her in there. I see Natalie in there.
Yaddle, y'all are disrespectful.
I'll hold out for the Hot Toys version.
Yeah, I'm
I'll wait for the in-art.
I'll wait for in-art to be rooted.
Yeah.
I'll wait for the rooted hair.
Is somebody say rooted?
Somebody say.
Sean,
does this interest you at all?
Sorry, Chris. This one doesn't come with a purple coat. It comes with a red dress.
Well, somebody get on it.
If they make a
no purple
coat, if they do actually make a Phantom Menace Padme, I think it'll be from the end of the movie where
Still
they're
need
actually
Anna
trying to
Moby.
retake the Capitol.
Oh
The
yeah.
outfit that she's wearing in that. I think that's the version we'll get from the
Yeah.
Phantom Menace, and I think that'll be the only one we get.
Or Tatooine. Batman.
That's fair. But
Oh
guys,
yeah,
I mean,
that one too. That's a good point.
yeah, I mean, I think for 140, it is certainly a gamble, but it's a bit cheaper, so you can kind of take that gamble, like Ryan said. But moving on, Ryan, I have a question for you. You know what that
Who you gonna
question is,
call?
Ryan? Who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters.
Yes, sir. So, guys,
As I said, I'm gonna call my bank and get a loan because I'm broke. That's what I'm gonna call.
Somebody
know,
call
man.
that man's barber.
This was quite a day. Oh, here we go. Chris is already roasting them, man. So I will say. So guys, starting off in terms of pricing, I know a lot of people had questions about pricing on these. The pricing on this one is, the pricing on these is $210 a piece. So really, honestly, I think that's about what we said for these. Really not off from what we were saying. So I mean, I think that's where they needed to be, right? I think they needed to be in that range because then when you do the math, you're getting all 4 of them for just under $900. I mean, I think that's doable.
Yeah.
I think that's doable.
It's like, yeah, that's what I said this morning on Geeking Out. I said that, you know, these will probably be about 210, 220, and then
Yeah.
after NRD, probably 180 out the door. And that's what it is. It's 210. After your NRD, when it ships, it's 180 per figure. So,
Yeah.
I mean, 210 for 4 of them, that's 440. So that's a little bit over half the cost of the Blitzway version.
And I went to a local shop today. They had the two of the Ghostbusters, and I forgot which 2 they had, but one of them was missing half the accessories, and they wanted $525 for it, bro.
Yeah, hell no.
So
I'll
it's
get
like
the Present Toys one and call it a day.
right, and obviously the big joke going around is that a lot of people are like the sculpts aren't great, and I'll be honest with you, to me these sculpts are about a 6.5 or a 7. But you know, if this is my opportunity to get the Ghostbusters, I'm going to take it for what it is. I don't think they're horrible sculpts. I just don't think the likeness is quite there on them. And it's good that they have alternate sculpts with both of them. And guys, I don't know if we mentioned this before when we talked about the Ghostbusters, but I've been told that this is confirmed that we are getting a Slimer. So that makes a lot of sense now. And we talked about this before, that they all had that open mouth, like surprise, like, oh, there's a Slimer sculpt, that sculpt. So I'm not surprised by that, that's been confirmed, because they do have alternate sculpts now. We have people making a joke. So OG, I mentioned it's actually a 1/6 kit. So if you head on over to 1/6 kit and you go to the main homepage, you'll see her up there. She's up for pre-order on the main page.
Mhm.
So thank you everybody for Chris and some guy for helping them out there. Exactly. Balls deep. This is what we do when we look at these sculpts, right? We got one eye open, one eye closed. We're like, oh, that figure looks pretty good, you know? But my thoughts on this one, I understand everybody has an issue with the hair, and it is a bit off.
440 or 2,500 plus.
That's true.
440 or 2,500 plus.
Right. So it's like,
Do you want
If
the
you're-
real ones or you want the fake ones? I'll
right.
take the
Do you
fake
want
ones.
for the price difference? It's like, it's hard to justify, you know. And I know Sean has a different
Third
opinion
party.
on this. He said he would rather just shell out the extra like $1,000 or $1,000+ to get the official
Well,
ones.
if
but-
the total for all 4 was going to be over 1,000, then I'd rather fork it out.
So you
But,
think in this range it's more worth it to you to get the third party ones then?
in a way, yes, because to me it wouldn't be, if there's a way I could get the first Ecto one. You know, and even if Blitzway comes out with Ghostbusters 2 figures or whatever, you know, then I can just put these guys, if I buy them, I could just put them in the Ecto one.
Exactly. I mean, and they'll
You
look
know, and
perfectly
then-
good in there, you know.
And then I don't think that's good enough. But, you know, I'm still on the fence because I don't know. I have this weird feeling we're going to see them licensed out.
Well, I know.
I don't.
Trick or Treat
I have
got the
no.
license.
What was that?
Trick or Treat got the license for Ghostbusters, so they might be doing their version of 1/6 scale figures
Trick or
for them.
treat.
So I was
Mhm.
told
Studios.
I was told by someone that is very ingrained in the third party stuff and the licensing stuff. He told me that there's someone that got the 1/6 license, but no one knows who it is yet. That he
Trick
said
or
it's
Treat
not,
Studios.
as far as he knows, it's not. Well, no, there's no confirmation that Trick or Treat Studios
For
got.
what?
They have the license for the props.
To a
and
lot of
that,
other
all that-
stuff to make. They have
but-
They have a lot of licenses to make toys and stuff, but it's not confirmed in terms of what. Type
Right,
of
nothing
toys that
confirmed
they
for the
make.
For what?
1/6 from them.
Ghostbusters?
For Ghostbusters, yeah, they do. So they
Yeah.
announced actually that they had the licensing for Ghostbusters not long ago, but Here's the thing: Trick or Treat Studios they do great head sculpts. For me, where they lack is one, the bodies are horrible, which is fixable, but also I feel like the paint on their human head sculpts is not quite as good as, like, say, their Art the Clown, where it's not a human flesh tone. So it's like, I'm a bit worried if 3-0 were to get, or excuse me, I'm saying 3-0, I'm crazy. If Trick or Treat Studios were to get the license, I am a bit worried how they would do on the paint apps. Just because, again, and Chris, I think you would agree with this, even when you look at those flesh tone hands that come with the 2018 Myers, they're not horrible, but they're not like on Hot Toys level. You know, you could tell they're a bit cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say it's still better than the others, like specifically the 2018, just because they're a lot more dirty and you get the blown off fingers. Like compared to the other ones, it was a massive improvement.
For sure.
But yeah, it's still night and day between Hot Toys and them.
Yeah, but I'm just like, I'm holding out because I do
wait till in
and I'm interested.
No, Owen's not gonna let that go. He's like, wait for Inner.
Yeah.
Wait for Inner.
Yeah, there'll be rooted hair cornrows.
Yeah. And the mustache.
Yeah. And Bankman will actually come with real.
Yeah, they're gonna have rooted hair, pubic hair now too. You know, for
okay.
Whoever, like, I put it this way, whoever's got the license for it, they should just go ahead and do Ghostbusters 2.
That's what I think too.
Yeah, 1 is played out. I've always been saying Ghostbusters 2 is definitely the better way to go. Give someone some.
I thought they would have done Afterlife at this point.
No, not the kids. I would do the original 4 in the blue, the navy blue jumpsuits.
Yep.
When they were during Christmas, and like even give them like Christmas hats, because that's what they were rocking during, like, it was, you know, that time. The navy blue jumpsuits. They're different jumpsuits, different patches. The proton packs were different. They're not the same proton packs from the first movie. They are different. So there's enough subtle differences that you're not devaluing the first set where people feel like, damn, you know, like that value. It's still 100% hold value because everything is different. The proton packs are different. Suit, everything's different in the second movie. And people like us who don't have them will get the second ones and be completely content to have a 4-pack Ghostbusters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think
that, and then give us a Vigo as well.
Vigo,
cool.
Yeah.
What else were you gonna say, Sean? Because we cut you off, or at least I did.
You just kept saying somebody else.
I appreciate that.
You said something about rooted pubes.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, so I don't know. I do want them, but at the same time, I feel like I need to hold out.
Yeah.
And usually I don't even get conflicted with third-party stuff where I'm interested, but should I or should I not get it? I usually don't do that. But I'm a really big fan of Ghostbusters. So it's kind of hard right now for me to be saying no to this at the same time as I just have a feeling like I need to wait. And usually when I have a feeling like that, there's usually a good reason for that. But I have nothing to encourage me to do that or anything. I don't know anyone who's coming out and saying, hey, this is 100% confirmed, this is coming out. I don't even have rumors other than what I just heard today with everybody else here.
Yeah.
So outside of that, I don't know. I'm a possible. It's possible right now that I get these, and it's possible that I won't. I'm just on the fence right now. But usually I'm a no for third party.
Okay. So real quick, 12-inch Moose Stream says he used code Hotline today and bought a second Mars Toys Joker. I know, I'm insane. Hey, so I was lucky enough to catch Mars Toys did a small restock of leftovers for the Mars Toys Joker at like almost 1 a.m. in the morning. I was lucky to catch that. So I actually have a Mars Toys 66 Joker on the way. But yes,
What'd
guys,
you say?
if you
You said you weren't getting that. Wait, whoa. Back that up. You said you weren't getting it.
Well,
you
convinced me to get it.
Wait, whoa. So you were adamant that you weren't getting that. Like, and I said I was going to buy it for you, and then I thought it happened when I was sleeping.
Ryan fell asleep. Ryan fell asleep, and I was like, "Don't worry, Ryan, I'll buy it. I'll buy it."
He did it behind your back.
Sorry, it was 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I just happened to be up and I saw it go up. But also, guys, if you didn't see, the next pre-order wave for the Mars Toy 66 Joker is now up on 1/6 kit. So if you haven't grabbed it already, now's your chance. So yeah, this is the final package here. This is everything you get. It is cool to see that the Proton Pack does light up, and that is confirmed on 1/6 kit's website as well. This is not just Photoshop. And apparently it operates by a little switch, that flips
Yes.
on the whole pack. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad to see they at least went with the lights on that, because that would have been pretty disappointing in my opinion if there were no lights on the pack at all, especially for $210. So that's pretty cool in my opinion. Finally, we're going to take a look at the prototype photos for the other figure.
No neck.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
Oh,
he's
like that.
stronger of the two.
You think
Yeah,
so?
Winston's the weakest. Yeah, Winston's
Yeah.
the weakest.
Yeah,
Winston's the
and I
weakest.
think he was the weakest in the Blitzway pack too, wasn't he? They did him
Yeah.
dirty there
he was
too.
totally painted
Yeah.
wrong. That was the first thing
Yeah.
everyone did with that figure is they had it repainted because he was like literally, when I say black, he was completely painted the wrong color.
Yeah.
Like they didn't. He wasn't.
Yeah.
It was really.
I
Bad.
think this is probably my favorite sculpt of the bunch, though. To be fair, I really like the open mouth sculpt. I know it's a little goofy, but with the walkie-talkie put up to his mouth, I think it looks really cool. It's a really cool
Yeah,
display
when it was in the
idea.
hallway in the hotel with Slimer running after
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
That's what
Like
that
right
is.
here, like that's how I want to pose mine right there. I just think that's
The
so
more
cool.
I keep
love
getting
it.
showed these, I keep getting tempted. So.
Oh, Vito, you don't have to be tempted. Just go to one
Last
side.
that's-
time
it doesn't
I
look too
I
bad,
ended
though.
up with a DeLorean,
That's
so
a decent
y'all need to
sculpt.
chill.
Like that's the previous sculpt wasn't. That's not. It's not there,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's passable for me.
Like I said, for me, it's like a 6.5. Like
it's
just awful.
barely
Yeah.
treading the line as passable.
This is it's much better, I think, personally. I know the open mouth isn't always everybody's favorite, but I even like the teeth. I think the teeth look pretty good.
It looks like like I think it looks like like an animated character. Doesn't
It
look.
does.
Yeah,
It
does.
There's
look
it's a
real.
bit more of a caricature.
It's like a
Yeah,
Grand
for
Theft
sure.
Auto character. Like it's
a lot.
done-
That's people were saying this is Michael. From
Yeah, I
GTA.
saw that meme.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
I
see
people
saw
were
it
saying.
as a Grand Theft Auto character, but you know what I mean. Like it doesn't have a realistic tone to it. But
Right. And
the money that
There
you're
we go.
spending on these, the
Oh,
money
I
that
see
you're
Bill
spending,
Murray.
It's
is
spelled coming wrong.
yeah, coming soon. In case you
coming
guys were
soon.
wondering.
Yeah, the money that you're spending on these figures, it has nothing to do with the figure. You're spending the money on all the equipment, the proton pack, the belt, all those accessories. That's honestly where I'd say 80% of your money is going, is all that stuff, because that stuff is so valuable. It's just on eBay. I mean, the proton pack alone without the straps and the Alice frame is going for $120, the Blitzway version.
Jeez, man.
The proton, the neutrino wand, like the actual effect from that goes onto the end of the wand, that's going for about $40 a piece. The PKE meter is going for about $60 a piece. I mean, so when you part it out, the pieces are expensive also because they're rare. They're not, you can't find them. So honestly, for third party, the pricing isn't bad because the money's in the equipment. Now, I hope that the proton pack lights up like Blitzway does, where the cyclotron, the red lights are supposed to blink in sequence, and the blue bars to go up and down. Like if it just lights solid, all right, I'll take it. But I'm hoping it's not a light switch; it just turns on.
It seemed like
solid.
they took a lot from Blitzway, so maybe they reverse engineered everything.
Well, if you go
they
back
did,
to the
so-
photos, those are stock. Like if you go back a second to look at the accessories, like that's the Blitzway. Like the effect from the neutrino
Yeah,
wand,
yeah.
that's the Blitzway effect. Like that picture is the Blitzway one. The way that's done, like that is definitely taken from the Blitzway. Like I mean, I'm interested to see how that looks remolded. But like I said, I'm all in on this because these figures are going for $3,000, and to be honest with you, you could save up for them. And I say this all the time, I could have gotten these things a year and a half ago if I didn't get so invested into Star Wars. Like I opted to go
Right.
into Star Wars, and I love it, so I'm enjoying that. I'm not going to be one of those that sells off half of an IP to get these.
Right.
It's not what it is. So and also, you don't know what the condition of these are like when you're buying these very expensive figures from people, sealed in box. How many times do we always say sealed in box is not always the best thing for figures, because you just don't know what you're getting for such an expensive piece.
Yeah,
And me
not at
being a
all.
Ghostbusters fan, I'm crazy enough to buy these, and then if another license comes out, I'll buy those again. Like I'm that crazy
Right.
that I'll do it. I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine because I love the original. Afterlife I'm okay with. I passed on the Afterlife Ecto 1. I want a clean 84. I would love it if someone did an Ecto 1A from Ghostbusters 2, but that is like an undertaking I don't think anybody would ever do, is do that car. But I would love that. So
Yeah.
I'm
You
all
know
in.
what I want to see as well is like them do what 3-0 and Ace Toys did with the Power Rangers, like to where you're able to buy them as a set, like one pack, all in one box, or at least make the box and then you can have each individual come out of it and like different shots from the film all over the box, like for box art and stuff like that. I think that'd be really cool.
I'm honestly surprised they didn't do it as a 4-pack. Yeah.
Right.
I'm very interested to see the Rey and Egon because arguably those are probably, in my opinion, two of the probably more important sculpts that they have to nail. Like in my opinion,
Yeah.
because I think from the Blitzway, Egon and Rey were the strongest of the four.
They were the better ones. I agree.
And the fact that they're the last ones, I think that they're taking more time on those. That they have to nail those at least to the extent. I think
So
that's-
Did you guys
Don't hurry,
did you
man.
guys see the Punisher though? The Present Toys Punisher
Did not
came
look
out
great.
recently.
Yeah.
No, there was a big
Yeah.
drop off in quality from the promo shots, man.
The
Oh, there
sculpts
was a
were
drop
pretty
off.
bad, in my opinion.
I said to Connor, "It looks decent." He's like, "Bro, did you see this?" I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute, never mind. I retract that statement."
Rough, dude. Rough, man.
Rough is a nice way of saying it.
Yeah.
Looked like it was picked up at
I'm glad
Walmart.
I didn't pre-order that one because I was very close to it, but I think that's gonna wrap it up for us, guys. I had a couple other things I was gonna talk about, but we're going on 2.5 hours. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. A lot of great stuff to talk about tonight. As many have pointed out, a lot of money spent today. A lot of pre-orders dropped on all this different stuff coming out, and I'm sure some of you who haven't dropped your pre-orders, you're going to be doing it soon. So definitely understand your pain there because I dropped a lot of pre-orders today for sure. But that's all we got for you guys. If you haven't already, check out the giveaway video. We actually just filmed and posted the giveaway video. So the 1,000 subscriber giveaway video is now live. So if you haven't entered already, head on over and check out that video. Everything is laid out in the video on how to enter. There's also a really fun blooper reel at the end, some funny stuff with Ryan, Sean, and I. So definitely check
Yes,
that
there
out if
is.
you haven't already. Yes, it's fun stuff, guys. It really is. I've been wanting to do a blooper reel for a while, and we just happened to stumble upon some funny stuff when we were recording. So definitely check that out. Get yourself entered in the giveaway. There's 5 winners, guys. So well worth entering. There's some great odds, and we very much appreciate Sean and Ryan for donating to that giveaway. And Kit from 1/6 Kit as well donated a prize. So thank you to everybody involved. And I can't wait to pick a winner in a few weeks when we run the winners for the giveaway live. But real quick, we'll go down the line with all of our panel members. Ryan, do you have anything new going on the channel? Anything new planned? I do want to say congratulations to you, Ryan. You just hit 1,000 subscribers, dude. A big goal. So congratulations, man. We're very happy for you. We're very proud of you. And it's awesome to have you here in the 1,000 Club with me, man.
Yeah, I really do appreciate that. And I know that on Monday, I feel like it was Monday. I did my first live stream. And I know you were on that, so I really appreciate that. It was pretty well received in the community. So that's probably where my next goal is, and probably doing more live streams and just trying to figure out, where my place fits and stuff. Figure out my own. I want to do my own thing that's a little unique. So that's probably my next thing is do lot more live streams. And in terms of just what's coming up on the channel more quickly, I have a review. I kind of showed you guys this, but I recently got diorama pieces from someone on eBay who makes diorama pieces, and this is like a Mos Eisley panels. There's 3 of these. I'm only showing you guys one, but I'm gonna do a little review on this little diorama. I have a plan for my my light box. It's not for display, it's for photography right now. So I'm probably gonna film a video of this tomorrow and have that up on the channel sometime, next couple days. Just another great source. I mean, I know Connor, I sent you some of the stuff priced pretty well.
Yeah,
I thought, and the shipping from guys in Germany. So that shipping was about a week from Germany to the United States, so it was pretty fast. So just an alternative. If you guys are interested in like diorama style pieces, I thought the pricing was fair. But that's really all I got going on so far. So just doing display stuff, clean up behind me, and kind of cleaning up the collection for right now.
Nice. Yeah, so guys, definitely go check out Mr. Mom Collectibles. The link is in the description as always. Same for all of these great panel members here. The link is in the description. Thank you, everybody, saying great stream. Peyton, thank you so much for being here. Funky Cold Santa, everybody else, thank you so much for being here. Owen from In the Detoff. Owen, I'm guessing you're just banging out TikToks, man. I know you got
TikTok
a big
reviews.
presence over on TikTok, so that's what you're working on now, I'm guessing.
Yeah, same always.
Nice. So guys, check out In the Detoff on TikTok and Instagram. I believe the link's in the description as well, so definitely check that out. And of course, we have everybody dropping links in the chat. We very much appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, dude. Chris, what do you got going on the channel? Collecting Madness. Anything mad going on the channel?
Absolutely. Jesus,
That Sean's dying.
I know.
Sorry, I thought I hit
Again-
mute, so my bad. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're just dying live on camera, dude. It's all good.
Again, thanks for having me, man. It
Of
was
course,
a
man.
great time to be on. Great news. Hopefully, we get some more here with either tonight or within this weekend. I know Celebration is, just starting up and whatnot. But I just put this on the channel. So anybody who hasn't seen this DC Direct Black Adam statue, he's alright. He's alright. We'll leave it at that. You can go watch that if you want to see it. He's pretty cool, but and then I have this coming on the channel as well. So if you remember a couple weeks ago or last week, I got this little thing. This is the interactive version of Lola where you have to actually press her, and this is the animatronic version from Hasbro, and you can see she's like massively bigger. This is the actual 1-to-1 size prop, so I'll be doing a little thing on the channel.
Man, you upgraded fast, huh?
For her, yeah. Well, I got a great deal for it, and I had to, so after I saw like she wasn't really doing what I wanted. And then this, I got a 1/6 scale Ghostface coming to the channel as well. This should actually be up before Lola, so this will be up sometime this week or this weekend.
Nice. And it's crazy about that figure, guys, because Chris and I were looking around because Chris was trying to find one. I've had it in my collection for a while. And it's going for a pretty penny. I guess Scream 6 kind of had that effect. So it was very interesting to see that one shot up in value so much. But yeah, definitely head on over to Collecting Madness and check out his channel for sure. He does great
and
stuff.
I just hit 600. I forgot to mention that.
I put in the private chat. I thought I was gonna say something.
Nice.
600.
Well, hey, congrats, because earlier you were at 599. You're like, I'm stuck at 599. Congrats, Chris. Big congrats to Chris for hitting 600. That's a big milestone.
New goal is 750 now, so head over sub.
Screw it, 1,000.
And so 750 for Chris, but somebody else just hit a new milestone. Sean, he's always quiet and so humble. Sean just hit 200, so congrats to Sean for hitting 200.
Let's go.
Heck yeah, Sean.
Thank you, guys.
But yeah, Sean, I know you just posted some new stuff. Tell us what you got going on over on the channel.
Just because I've been so busy with work and I have some family stuff going on, along with rebuilding my basement. Well, not rebuilding, but moving things around and adding more display cabinets and everything. So I've been doing a lot of shorts, just because that's all what I really have. I haven't had a lot of time lately to dedicate to doing like a full review, doing the record, stop, look at it, play again. So, but it's nice. Like I had that huge spell too, where I wasn't really getting anything.
That's true.
And then this week, all of a sudden, I got Ahsoka. Both DX20 and 21 came in. Today, the clone pilot showed up.
Nice.
So I'm really happy about this. And
Everyone's getting that pretty quick.
Yeah, mine will be here on Monday.
Yeah. But last week after we streamed, I just happened to look on eBay and actually found 2 really good deals. I got the Iron Man Mark 45 at like a great price, and then the Batman Armory with Bruce Wayne and Alfred. So that was actually pretty awesome too, from The Dark Knight.
You have to do some videos on those. That's a great set, man.
Yeah, I mean, I used to own that set before, and so it's good to get it back. I just haven't had a chance to open it yet, but
yeah,
if just watching what's going on, a lot of people are all of a sudden just, there's people that are just like outrageous with selling some things, and then there's some that's just like, if you're really wanting a good deal, just look out for it. Sometimes you'll just randomly just go look at something and then there's something there, and check and see if they're good seller or not, and if they are, then go for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of honest sellers on eBay. There's a lot of phony ones, but just kind of like you said, check their feedback, keep an eye out, take some advice from people who have bought from them and kind of know what to look for. So but yeah, Sean, I look forward to seeing that stuff when you end up opening it up, because that armory is something I've been looking at for a while. I'm still holding out hope for that clear armory that we saw recently with the Bruce Wayne with the cane, but that's really cool, dude. I can't wait to check it out. I'm sure you'll do a video of it eventually. But yeah, guys, head on over to Hot Toys Nightmare. Check out his channel. He does great stuff. Sean's a humble dude. I think he does some really cool stuff, and he has one of the coolest collections I've ever seen. I love how his collection's laid out. He's got like my dream setup. I know you guys probably say my setup's your dream setup, but Sean's got like a whole basement, dude, and it's so cool. So definitely check out his channel. Now we're on the road to 500 for Sean. You're welcome, Sean. Thank you for being here, man. And then finally, of course, we cannot forget about our boy CMB, who's not only often seen here, but also seen over on Geeking Out. So guys, thank you so much, some guy, for dropping the link in the chat. Check out Geeking Out as always. Those are our good friends over there. Head on over and watch not only CMB, but many of us had appear over there as well. As, of course, our boy Nate also. So thank you so much as always for being here, CMB. It's great to have you as always.
Always a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. But guys, that's all we got for you. Again, thank you so much for sticking out. Check out that giveaway video. If you haven't entered already, what are you doing? Enter that giveaway. Get yourself a chance to win some awesome prizes. Once again, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I know a lot of people are streaming today. Thank you for sharing in the love of collecting and sharing in your hype for Star Wars and everything else like that. But we'll see you. We'll see you next time. Have a great weekend, guys. Take care.